Hello, everyone. How is everybody doing? Welcome aboard. Just looking at everything here, make sure it's okay. It does look like. And, yep, that's cool. That's nice. I'm all right over there. And yeah, so we're starting off with another live show. And so this is the end. No, it's the beginning. Haha. Yo, man. Yo. Hey everybody, welcome aboard. This is the Shortwave Radio Show, and yeah, looks okay. Okay. And hello there. So welcome. This is the Shortwave Radio Show. We are Friday, and it's 2000 hours UTC. So basically, that's the time where we are live for our Shortwave Radio Show on the Friday nights. And yes, tomorrow there's a show for those that wonder. Saturday tomorrow. And to answer another question, yes, I'll be on the International Radio Report with Sheldon Harvey and with Sheldon and Paul. Sheldon and David. Paul is my cat. On Sunday morning at 14:30 UTC on CKUT, so it's going to be nice. So nice to have you on board. So this is the Shortwave Radio Show. We are Friday, May the 18th, 2018, and of course this is a show every Fridays at 2000 UTC. What does it talk about? Radio. Yeah. You might think, hey, the internet's got everything. The internet does everything. No, it does not. Shortwave radio is still alive and still a good thing. It's still something important to keep up with. My name is Gilles, and I'm located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And I hope that you will be have fun today as we are starting another show. And we will, of course, we have our beer. This is the Fin du Monde. Cheers. So my location is Montreal, Quebec, Canada, northeast part of North America. And today we're going to tune the bands. We're going to look at different signals and just have a lot of fun together talking about radio. That is way too far. Here we go. So my setup here is, somebody asked me, what's the setup you've got when you're doing the show? So I've got on this side a Windows 10 laptop that has the stream going. And on that side, I got a 17-inch Toshiba laptop, which is running Ubuntu 18.04 right now, Linux, and I have the stream, the chat room, and some web pages open for consultation while I'm doing the live shows, and that's pretty much the way it works. And of course, we've got the Afedri SDR working here with HD SDR on a desktop computer that's behind the TV actually. And I'm running Windows 7 on that machine with the HD SDR software that I deeply love in listening to software-defined radios. So hey everybody, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Always cool to have everybody on board as usual. Hello there. There's a chat room, by the way, for those that wonder. It's a great place to talk about radio, talk about whatever, ask questions, just have fun. Nick Amendot from Romania. Hey there, nice to have you here. Bobby Burgess, WA5107SWL. That's his shortwave radio call sign, because yes, you can have a shortwave radio call sign. He's in Louisiana, USA. PLF Radio, nice to have you here from France. William Helms, nice to have you on board from Florida. Brett Wayne, KC2NXB, nice to have you on board from, I believe, the state of New York. PA1WX, hello there, nice to have you on board from the Netherlands, I guess. I'm trying to remember. There's some people I still, kind of need to brush up on where they are and learn and have it. Bobby Burgess says he's got the XPA2 number station 20 minutes ago. Cool. That is cool. Driver from Shortwave says, today I have been mainly activating a hill on amateur radio, editing a video and drinking beer. Not all at the same time, though. Well, it could be, multitask. It's just fun. Yesterday there was a live feed and the Tim Robinson feed, and he was asking me how I can cope with all the things happening at the same time, and I kind of summed it up as talk, read, and whatever. I don't remember how I put it. It was just perfect, and it's like repeat. It's like just do your multitask stuff. Dwayne Wadika, nice to have you on board from Alberta, Canada. Cool to see people from the west part of Canada. Vianney Arsenault, bonjour, bienvenue. Nice to have you here from the east part of the province of Quebec, the Gaspésie region. Nicolas Hughes, fire. Nice to have you here. Mark Cope, nice to have you on board from Dallas, Texas. Glenn Goodale, can you do a review of SDR Play, SDR Uno, SDR Duo, 2-tuner SDR radio? I would need to have one in order to do it. And I don't have one. So if anybody wants to donate one, okay. And if not, I'll check it up. Next week is the week where YouTubers get paid, so I'll be checking out my what I got, and I've been planning on maybe checking something out to review later. So I'll be checking that off. Jerry, nice to have you on board. So you ordered a ICOM ICR30 from what I've seen. I've kind of seen that through email. Eventini, nice to have you here from Northeast Texas. Danielle Bogdan, nice to have you here from Atlanta, Georgia. Lex Far 74 from Germany, nice to have you here. Cheers. Giuseppe Ciappolli, oh there, nice to have you on board. Where are you, Giuseppe? In Italy? Just a guess. Where are you from? MDK2, nice to have you on board. Pretty cool, pretty cool. What do we have? That's not bad. Chicken salad. I like that chicken salad. And a Twinkie. I haven't had a Twinkie in I don't know how many years. I think last time I had a Twinkie I was like 17 years old. Brad Wayne says, no fire, beer. Yep, exactly. Donald Hausner, nice to have you on board from Michigan. Taking a break on the drive home from National Installation of Shortwave Broadcasters Conference in Elkhart, Indiana. So it's happening, what, this weekend? Or this week, from what I've seen. What else do we have? NDK2 says, antenna is unplugged and put away in anticipation of severe thunderstorms. Okay. Here it's a cool day. It's about, I don't know, in the 60s. I've got my ICOM open on 6 meters. I kind of heard some JT 65 on 50276 upper sideband a little earlier, so I'm hoping that maybe I get something on 6 meters tonight. Who knows? Manny CV, hello there. Ray Kelly, nice to have you on board from Nova Scotia, Canada. Luis Arevalo just broke antenna on his Texan PL 880. So you can actually ask Anonco on eBay. They he has antenna replacements for several Texan receivers. So you can check that out. They're not that difficult to replace. So maybe you can check out with Anonco on eBay. I've seen several antennas advertised there to replace broken Texan receiver antennas. So yeah, so wow, I'm jealous, Jerry. ICOM R30. Really jealous. MK2, remind me to send you an email about setting up Patreon. I've been meaning to move over to that for a while, but I had a question about it. Okay, cool, no problem. We'll be checking that out. I might do some changes to the Patreon thing, because when I actually did Patreon, the way you could set it up was very specific, but they've made changes to it. So I'm thinking of changing the way that it's set up so that people that go to Patreon to set it up there might actually find it easier to understand, because it's like, I do understand that it's crazy, you know. And for that purpose, often I've been talking about, give me donations through PayPal instead, because I understand the weirdness of Patreon. Moria 330, good afternoon. Nice to have you here. SDR Play RSP Duo, $280 US. Wow, that is expensive. Need to check that out. Donald Hausner says, yesterday's special radiogram was for a demonstration for the at the conference that Dr. Kim Andrew Elliott was presenting. Yeah, that's what I heard afterwards, because I didn't know. And I all day yesterday while I was doing YouTube videos at home, I had my GP5 SSB on ETM, on easy tuning mode. So I was all day, I was letting it scan, and I was looking at like every half an hour what are the signals that it's actually stopping on. And that's when it stopped on 13845. But the funny thing about 13845 is that it's usually only the annoying woman with the Jesus stuff. And I was surprised that 13845 had some, digital mode, and I pretty much knew it was MFSK. At first I thought it was MFSK 32, but obviously it was, when I started looking at decoding it, I said, okay, no, it's faster MFSK type. But I didn't have time to really set it up because they were sending out the pictures, and when they do that, well, it's kind of impossible to set up all the pictures being sent. But after I heard the pictures and the MFSK broadcast, it immediately came to me. It's like that looks like a VOA, that looks like a shortwave radiogram that's being sent out. But I was surprised at the time of day and the day that they were doing it, because it's usually the weekend. It's never on that frequency. So I was surprised to hear it. And of course, yes, it was the shortwave radiogram. Now I know that there was that test going on. Callum too, nice to have you here. And yes, you love Longwave. Daniel Bogdan, have you ever done a side-by-side comparison of SDR software or any specific SDR software such as Kiwi SDR? Not side-by-side. I have individual videos like, SDR console, HDSDR, SDR sharp. Side-by-side I don't, but yeah, that would be nice to do it. And I gotta say, I hate SDR console. I just hate it. I love HDSDR a lot more. I kind of find that much more appealing to me visually, much more interesting, and I don't know. It's kind of when I go to the SDR console, it's just because I have no choice on the Insider machine. Is the only one that works with my ephedra correctly. But I hate it. I honestly hate the SDR console software. I don't like the way that it's actually done. So I'm sorry, but for those, I know some of you are big fans, and that's why I was asking in a video yesterday that I did. Can you explain to me, if you're using it, what do you like? Oh, look at that. There's some sporadic E-skip. Because there's some there's definitely some sporadic E-skip going on. That's channel 6, CB band, channel 6. And I believe he said Detroit, so it would be like near Detroit, Michigan. Interesting. What else do we have? What else do we have? Brett Wayne, yesterday was your birthday, so drinking beer today. Cool, happy birthday. So finally you got that, at 18 years old, you can finally drink alcohol. Well, it depends on the states. I believe some states are 21, but anyways, here in Quebec it's 18. Hey, Cesar Coelho, nice to have you here. And no, it's not too many beers, Cesar. It's the fact that I have a very limited time schedule. And doing videos that explain things, and especially on the R20, doing videos on explaining the edges on R20 is a darn task, because the manual is the crappiest possibly explaining that. But it's, you know, I try to post the videos and I try to do things, but I do so many things that I'm really ahead of time, and it's really you know, difficult to sometimes do the videos and please everyone. You know, you gotta remember that I do have a life, and I try to have a life outside of YouTube whenever possible. And even though YouTube is my income and my work, and so you know, I just need to. I got to take care of so many things at the same time that it's very difficult. And you know, making videos is a very you know, you don't just sit down and it's like, hey, I'm making a video about this now. It doesn't work like that. You gotta prepare. You gotta understand what you're going to talk about and have a way to talk about it that you're not gonna, you know, just forget about whatever you wanted to say. So basically, I will try my best, and I will try to do it if I can, but it is a difficult task, and so, you know, I'll try to remember and try to do something about it. I can tell you that. Steve in Australia, nice to have you on board. Zach Antle, nice to have you here. Daniel Bogdan says, you know, they shut down the only remaining Twinkie baker in North America back in a financial crisis. Really? Didn't know that. Didn't know that. Yes, I have seen the movie Chinatown. I have I have seen a movie Chinatown. Two Hands on the Radio. Hey there. Nice to have you here. If you guys haven't seen the videos of Two Hands on the Radio, go and check him out. He's got a nice channel there with nice radio videos and reviews. It's nice to share all of it. What else we have? Yeah, Jerry, I'm pretty sure you can't wait for that. I can tell you that. So yeah, well, you know, MDK2, it's because whatever you do, PayPal charges fees when you're outside of your country. And what happens is that you have a charge there, but if you do it on Patreon, well, Patreon does take a charge also. And actually, on Patreon, I am double charged. I am charged because Patreon takes a percentage of donations, plus the transition from Patreon to PayPal as another charge. So that I'm kind of double charged on Patreon, which means in reality, even if you have a fee on PayPal, it's probably overall less of a loss for me than it is when you go through Patreon that has technically a double fee. You know, there's two ways on Patreon to get paid. There's a thing called Global Deposit that takes a certain amount of money, and there's PayPal that takes a percentage. So when you get really big donations, Global Deposit is the best because it's an amount. It's not a percentage. It's just an amount for the fee. So big donations, it's more. You're better using Global Deposit. But for PayPal, it's a percentage. And for the amount of donations I'm getting, the PayPal percentage is more convenient, meaning I lose less in the transfer than Global Deposit. Thing is, whatever we use, PayPal or Patreon, there's some fees involved, anyways. These companies charge fees that's the way they monetize themselves. They charge fees for sending money. They charge, when I do the money, because, anybody that does a donation, by the way, you can do it in your own currency. Don't bother sending me, in Canadian dollars. You don't have to do that. It doesn't matter. You can send it, and, a couple of months back, I got a guy sending me something from Sweden in Swedish krona. And it's okay. You just send it in your own currency. And what happens is I get it on PayPal here. And on PayPal, what's going to happen is I'm going to get if it's in US dollars, I'm going to keep it in US dollars often. So on PayPal, I've got two currencies working, Canadian dollars and US dollars. Because when I buy things on eBay that are charged in US dollars, I can use the US dollar account. So I will always keep a little bit of money in the US dollar and in the Canadian dollar sides. But for the rest, if you send me in euros, if you send me in British pounds, in Swedish krona, and whatever, in Japanese yen, what happens is I get an email and it says, oh, you've got 260 Japanese yen. Do you want us to convert that in either Canadian or US dollars for you? And usually what I'll do is I'll transfer it in Canadian dollars myself. So, because somebody was asking me the other day, said, well, I can I send it? I'm a little lost at how much money, the transition to Canadian dollar does. But I would like to, I know what amount I'm going to give in my own currency. So it's like, yeah, just give it in your own currency. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about that. Let me worry about that. It's not a problem. And with PayPal, it's super easy to do transitions from one currency to another. So, it's not a problem. You just send it in your own currency. Let me deal with, whether or not I will change it into whatever other currency. Because I do keep my PayPal account actually pays many things. I've got automatic payments for Netflix there. I got an automatic payment for Microsoft for the Office 365 services that I'm subscribed to. And I've got other things that I will pay with PayPal. So what happens when I get my donations, I always keep a balance in US dollars and a balance in Canadian dollars in my PayPal account. So if I need to pay something in US or in Canadian, doesn't matter, I'll have the currency. Because if I change everything in Canadian, I'll be charged for the currency change. And of course, if I want to change it back into US, I'll be charged twice. So that's why I'd rather keep some US currency, because like that, I'm not being charged for the transfer in one currency or the other. PLF radio, nope. Honestly, I don't like it. Honestly, I hate SDR console. And I'll be talking about it. I'll have kind of a review of why I hate SDR console, because that's pretty much the video I'm going to make. Why I hate SDR console. But obviously, what's interesting is that the depending on who you are, we all have our own software that we like. And I think, apart from the fact that there are some software that have things that are like, for example, SDR Sharp has add-ons that add capabilities. So it's obvious that for some types of listening, you might prefer SDR Sharp because of that. But for general listening, I think we all have our own preference, basically, honestly. And it's okay. I mean, because some people told me, oh man, I love SDR console. It's just great. And I think it's depends on everyone, and it depends on what you like, honestly. Ralph Bender, nice to have you here from Germany. Andy Coley, nice to have you here. I find SDR Sharp, you know what? Honestly, I put SDR Sharp in the same category as SDR console. I kind of have the same feel using it. SDR Sharp might be a little better for me, but unless I'm using it with add-ons, because SDR Sharp is very popular for the add-ons, and that's the thing. So it's nice. How's my fridge? I'm really proud of myself. I fixed my own fridge for $45, which is something that I'm extremely happy to have done. So basically, it's I opened up the fridge. I opened up the I started looking. I found a couple of YouTube videos. One very helpful by this lady that actually took a fridge apart completely to show us how you take your fridge apart and not break anything. So I started looking at the video, and her fridge that she was using for the demonstration was actually very similar. And honestly, most fridges look alike anyway. And so I started looking at things. I started looking through forums of, okay, it's 15 degrees down on the bottom part, and it's the freezer's okay, and I had noticed there was less noise, so I had a hunch there's a fan not working. So I kind of looked on the internet and had a 101 crash course on how a fridge actually works, and opened up the freezer compartment. Behind it there was a fan. That fan was actually the fan that is the one for the evaporation of the system plus circulation of the air. The fan was not working, so obviously the fan was broken. I took my multimeter. I tested out. Fans seem to be basically the coils seem to be broken because it wouldn't register, and when I tested for connectivity, for continuity. So now the first problem was that I had to. So I went to the manufacturer. My fridge is a Maytag Performer fridge, and first of all, I noticed and I learned that Whirlpool makes pretty much everything from whatever brand you buy. Which first surprised me. I thought Maytag was a brand that was specific. No, Maytag is made by Whirlpool, and everything else is made by Whirlpool. I noticed that Whirlpool is that big company that makes all the brands. They probably bought all the companies or something. So that's my first surprise. I was like, oh, Whirlpool, okay. I checked the parts list. The motor is discontinued. They wouldn't sell it anymore. So I was like, really? I'm going to have to buy a fridge because the motor is discontinued? And so I looked online and I found a universal replacement on Amazon. It was $30-something. And on the picture it looked so similar. I was like, yeah, that thing's going to fit. That thing's going to work. But I didn't want to buy it online. I wanted to find some place here, and I started looking on the internet and noticed there was a place about half an hour from here that is actually the parts supplier for all of Montreal for fridge and for everything that is, a washing machine, whatever. They have everything there. So they had a form. I filled up the form. I said, look, I need that part. They said, oh, it's discontinued, but we have a universal fan that's going to fit and it's going to be okay. So I said, oh, okay. And how long before I get it? And he said, oh, we have it in stock. You just pick it up, $45. So I went there, picked it up, opened the fridge compartment again, changed the fan, put everything back, started the fridge, immediately noticed the fan was working at the top, which was something that was not working before. And basically, it's, my fridge is actually colder. Because when I started opening it and fixing it, I opened the compressor part at the bottom of the fridge to look at everything. It was in a huge mess of brown, black goo because there's a fan there and all the dust after 10 years. And I just laughed because in the manual, the instruction manual, it says, oh, this is a fridge that does not require any internal cleaning. It is designed to not collect dust. Yeah, there was this big chunk of shit stuck in that compartment. I was like, yeah, okay. So I cleaned it up and I changed the fan. And actually, in the controls, I had set the controls at about mid-level, which would give me the perfect temperature. Now at mid-level, my fridge down was actually freezing. So it's like, okay, I don't want to have ice milk. I want to have milk. So it's actually better than it was before. And you know what? It's cool because I learned more about fridge that I didn't know. And it's kind of nice when you repair something yourself and you're like, well, I did it myself, Cool. So anyways, enough about the fridge. Anything on the 2 meter band? 2 meter band. Nothing much here. Let's just for the sake of it. I'm far in the chat, guys, I know. I'm sorry. I will try to make it go a little more. But here we go. 2 meter band. Okay, there's a repeater on 145 190. This repeater is linked. That guy's near Thetford Mines, which is far away from Montreal, so they kind of link the repeaters. One 47015. This is a local repeater. 1470115. When I put it close, the computer doesn't work. So this one is another Montreal repeater. 147270.
But I didn't want the tar heel because there's moving stuff in there. That one, you got moving parts. That's a screwdriver antenna, right? Yeah, it's a screwdriver, but I've been living with screwdriver antenna since 2001.
So some activity on the 2 meter band here, local activity happening, but nothing exceptional except I like the link repeaters though. Whoops, I just moved the camera. I like the link repeaters though because they it's fun to hear the different stations logging in from different areas. It's always kind of cool. So I'm gonna go down as fast as I can to the chat room because I know I'm far behind. Sorry guys. So use 2 frequencies from WWCR. Oh, okay, and one from WRMI. Okay, thanks for the info. Really cool, really cool. Okay, going down. PLF Radio says 6 meter E-skip and 4 meter E-skip are open in Europe, according to Ham QSL. I was watching one of the forums that I have on that I follow, and I was seeing a lot of people across Europe mentioning E-skip today. A lot of E-skip for 6 meters. So pretty cool. Brett Wayne says he heard E-skip off and on at work all week. So I mean, it's the time of year. Sport E-skip is happening a lot more in like June and July. So it's the time of year right now. So what else do we have? Driver films, plenty of E-skip. But I don't have a radio that can do 4 meters or an antenna that can do 6 meters. What's the frequency range of 4 meters? I remember seeing that band, but I'm trying to remember. Jan de Jong, I see a scanner useless in the Netherlands. No police, ambulance, or fire brigade. You know what? That is one thing that I hear all the time, and I always want to say, well, there's not just police and emergency services to listen to. There's a lot more, and anybody that uses a scanner radio, even an old one, there are still tons of things to listen to it. You got to scan elsewhere. They're not useless. It's a question of when you listen to. It's pretty much the same as a friend of mine that doesn't live very far from here. We went to school together. When the police in Montreal came digital, first thing he said, well, I got no use for my scanner anymore. And said, well, there's other things than the police to listen to on the VHF, UHF ranges. So they're not useless. But yeah, of course, if your fun is listening to the police or ambulance, yeah. Here in Montreal, if you listen to ambulance or fire brigade, you gotta have a digital scanner, like the Whistler TRX1 or something like that. So, yep, I did, Richard, 27025, which is channel 6. Channel 6. So, hearing thunder, and the K2 says. Ronald Mullis, nice to have you here. And nice to have you on board. MDK2 says, dang, Joe, I'm thinking about mailing you cash now. Nah, don't do that. That's going to get stolen. And it's super complicated. You know what? To give you guys an idea, I have a couple of users that said, I don't want to use online services to send you money. And can I send you a check? The problem with checks is the fee that goes with it. In my bank, if I get a check from, say, a U.S. viewer from his U.S. bank, they charge me $7.50 just to change it. It's completely nuts. I think the best, anyone that would send me by mail a money, I think the best would be what we call a postal money order. Postal money orders, I believe, do not have any fees when I have to change them. And they are probably one of those that have the least amount of fees when you actually make one. But it's crazy. Everything has fees today. It's, there's no free international sending money thing. It's just crazy. What else do we have? And the K2 says, actually, last time I was going to send you via PayPal, it was a brand new fee that they weren't charging me before. I used straight from the bank account, which was free before. Yeah, because I have a fee on PayPal. I have a fee when I send to another country. No fees if I send within Canada. So I don't know, maybe there's always fees and things popping up everywhere. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. So you send a money order, Brett Wayne. Yeah, so money. Yeah, I believe money orders are free from charge. I can go to, I can even go to the post office and get the money from that. So thanks, Brett. Much appreciated. Garden Treadwell says V6 GPT says I sent $1 to 2 ands. It cost me a total of $2.75. Yeah, these fees are just crazy. I mean, Zach, you know what? It's just that here's the thing. The Office 365 that I pay for, I want to pay for because it's a separate account that has separate services. And I do have a Office 365 free of charge from Microsoft that I use for work. But I want work and my personal work to be two separate lives. So that's why I also am using Office 365 on my other side for all the things I do with YouTube, for example. I got tons of things that I do with Office 365, and I like the fact that it has a terabyte of cloud storage also. So, it's just crazy. Yeah, I know about the fees. There's tons of things and fees everywhere. It's just crazy. I totally understand. And it's sad because, the money that goes into the fees is the money that creators like me are not getting. And I totally understand that it's sad, Patreon has a double fee, it's crazy, but it's it's the only way, you get money like that, and that's it, PL, no way, nice to have you here. W5CXC in Texas. XNA DXer, hey Keegan, nice to have you on board from Northwest Arkansas. Shortwave Radio, I believe HDSDR has add-ons, but I'm not really sure to watch which one, basically. 26BT7000, hey there, nice to have you on board. And says fix his fridge for 0 pounds by using an already timer when the temperature sensor died. That's cool. That's cool. $45. I gotta say, $45 to bring my fridge back to life. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So what else is there? Yeah, we're plane crash in Cuba. I saw that 104 persons here dead, and we're of course always wondering. And basically, the fridge. What am I talking about? The Cuba plane. We're wondering if there's Canadians in there. I mean, there's tons of Canadians that go to Cuba all the time. I mean, around me, everybody's going to Cuba. It's that cheap place, doesn't cost a lot, and it's beautiful, and it's like, people just love going there. So there's, and those 104 person, I wouldn't be surprised there's a certain number of Canadians in there. So let's cross our fingers. Let's cross our fingers. As Rolf Bender says, 73 watchers missing some thumbs up. Absolutely. Red Wayne says, good, my money order will cover your beer fridge fix. Thanks. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, I know, phone's ringing. Yeah, I'm soon to do that, Jerry. Appliances and computer repair. Well, I have removed the virus from your computer, and by the way, your fridge is now back to normal. Kevin Y, if the opening is clogged, it will not get the cold air to the fridge. Yeah, I know, but mine was not. Mine was clogged because the fan was not working. So actually, everything where the fan was jammed in a big ice block. But since the fans changed, everything is perfect. David Snyder, frequency for 2 meter band is 144 to 148 megahertz. 144 to 148. 144 to 145, there's some upper sideband stuff, well, single sideband stuff, CW stuff, and so on. I hear a beacon here on 144, I think it's 144.280, something like that. Jerry been listening to Brazilian Pirates all week, very strong signals. Yeah, I get them, but very, very weak. Very, very weak here. I need to find a better antenna to get those, or maybe it's my coax that's making the signal so, so weak, basically. What is there? So, yeah, in the UK, I believe in the UK it's not as large, 144, 146, maybe, something like that. So, just crazy. Just crazy. Richard Cook's listening to the Voice of Korea, 12015, very weak. What is there? What is there? Rich in Atlanta, Georgia, nice to have you on board. 11530, Voice of Wealth, Radio Dengue. Willat, are you able to receive it? 11530. And whoops. Yep, not super strong, but it's there. That comes from Madagascar. Not bad, Madagascar. So I'm getting it not super strong, but it's there. With some music right now. 11530, Radio Dengue, whatever. 11530, it's coming from Madagascar Relay. Nice to have you on board, by the way, Rich. The K2 scheduled his hand license test for next month. I'll be taking the last one given with the current question pool. I hope you get that. There's probably going to be okay. Radio Romania 11850. Let's check it out.
It may yield a total of 170 billion cubic meters of natural gas.
Better on 13650. Radio Romania 13650 right now.
Investment in the Black Sea hydrocarbon sector will bring $26 billion into the state budget and will increase Romania's GDP by $40 billion by 2040. This estimate, which is more cautious than the one made by the Romanian authorities, is based on technical data concerning the offshore extraction works in the Gulf of Mexico, similar to the ones in the Black Sea.
În cazul rezervelor, oficiali ANRM au spus că sunt...
As far as the reserves go, the authorities said they amount to 200 billion cubic meters. We estimate there are 170 billion, according to our calculations. The European Commission, in its impact studies, speaks about a significant...
The thing about, some Radio Romania 11850 and 13650. Dallas Mackenzie, nice to have you here, says he's hearing music on 6260. He believes it's Blue Moon in Ireland. New to Shortwave. Wow, cool. 24/7 so far. MDK2 says that's what I'm talking about. Cash, just putting in when it's well hidden. Yeah, I guess it works. I don't receive enough US or enough checks to warrant the need to have a US bank account. Because when I went to the bank and she told me it was $750, I'd received a check from one of my fans in I believe she lives in South Carolina on my tech channel, and I received it by mail. And I when she told me what I don't know how to send you money, and it's like, well, send me a check and we'll see what happens, And I had not done that. So when I got there and the woman said, well, it's a $7.50 fee, I was like, $7 just to change a US check is completely crazy. I actually told her, I said, man, you banks are just ripping people off. And you know what? I actually thought about it, because if I would have received more, I even told her, I said, you know what, that cash place at the other side of the street that changes checks, they take a percentage, and even if they take that chunk of percentage, it's less than what the bank takes. It's nuts, but it's like you have to go through opening an account and everything, and I didn't want to go through that. So anyways, she told me, well, if you don't want to have fees the next time, or too many fees, you should open a U.S. funds bank account. And I said, well, yeah, but I get 2 checks a year. I don't see the reason why I should have a U.S. funds bank account, because anyways, they'll charge me a monthly amount to keep it open. So, it's just nuts. It's crazy when you start dealing with money from outside the country, it's just crazy how to get it and transfer it. Yeah, postal orders. I remember postal money orders when I didn't have when I was young and when I was a teenager and I didn't have a bank account yet, and I wanted to purchase stuff over the that I had seen. I remember when I bought the SWL cartridge for the Commodore to decode radio teletype. I believe it was like in 1984 or something. I had made a postal money order to get it. Paul A. Steckler. What about a Bitcoin wallet? Yeah, but the problem with the Bitcoin is it's so volatile. It's like one day you got $100, the next you got 25 cents. I'm not fond of Bitcoin things much. A friend of mine has it's just crazy. A friend of mine that has a karaoke bar actually added the capability to be paid in Bitcoins at the bar, and he had purchased 2 or 3 Bitcoins about 2 years ago, and when they dropped almost to half what he had paid, he got nuts and said, "Man, I'm selling those." And I kind of told him, you got to hang on to them. They're lost value now, but they might, it's gonna come back. And I remember just before Christmas when the Bitcoin hit like $1,800, I told him, "Look at that, your 175 Bitcoins are now worth $1,800 if you had kept them." And he said, "Shut up." Yeah. Well, e-transfer is, I believe, the ones that I have done e-transfers are actually charge me $1 fee, $1. But still, it's cheaper than a lot of other things. But PayPal in Canada, I don't pay anything. I've done transfers in different things that I'm paying for here in Canada, and I have no fees between Canadian PayPal accounts. And got no fees when I transfer to the bank also. Gordon Treadwell. Crazy. Richard Cook says 1150 is stronger than 6170 tonight. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, postal money orders, I believe, are the best and the least amount of fees for international things. Plus, the other thing that is crazy is if I get a US check, my bank freezes the check for 21 business days. 21 business days. So it means the money's there, I see it, but I can't take it. A postal money order, I can just go to the postal, to the post office, and they immediately give me the money. No hold, no nothing. It's there. Here you go. You want it in Canadian dollars? We'll do the transfer. Here you go. It's just so simple. So, if anybody wants to send me money without a transaction of PayPal or things like that, I think a postal money order is probably the best thing. Because it's the easiest thing to get the money, and you get the money right away when you exchange it at the post office. Karim Rashid, hey there, nice to have you here. Got a DGen 1129. It uses Nokia-like battery mobile. It's 850 milliamp hour. Can I use a 1150 milliamp hour as a spare battery? Yeah, if it has the same, the important thing is the voltage. So the voltage needs to be the same. So if it uses a certain, say 5 volts or 3.6 volts or whatever, you need to have the same voltage. That's the important part. But for the milliamps, it doesn't matter, because the more milliamps you get just means the radio is going to run longer, usually. But make sure it's the same voltage. That's the important thing. You need the same voltage. But yeah, we'll be okay if it's like that. So Jack N9IIF from Byron, Illinois. Nice to have you here. Dark Noise NL. Nice to have you on board from the Netherlands. What else do we have? Yeah, there was a school shooting in Texas, absolutely. Lots of things happening today. And hey, Dave Todd. Man, I used to do the same thing. Put US dollar bills in my envelopes to get QSL cards. And I got to say, well, you know, Callum, digital or analog? I mean, it's a question of what you think natural is, honestly. Rock Ristorante, nice to have you on board. SM0SBT from Sweden, nice to have you here. I heard the aviation station on WWV, close to WWV from Gander. I hear it a lot. Yeah, 10051. You're hearing the weather broadcast. It's a 10005. 10051. 10051. Let's see if it's. I never remember what's the time exactly it's on, but it's every hours. Yeah, here it is. It is right now. I hear it better on 6604. 13270 also. So Gander, Newfoundland, Canada weather, aviation weather. 13270. One 10051. And 6604. It doesn't happen very often. I hear it on all the frequencies at the same time. So Gander, Newfoundland, Canada. Steve says 11530 strong in Australia. Nice. Yeah, there was a few survivors, Keegan. Absolutely, I did see there 3 or 4 survivors, but apparently they're really in bad shape. Though, hope that they don't. You know, if they survive, I just hope they're not going to be crippled or something. You know. So Richard Cook says 13650 strong. We have. What do we have? Let me go down here. Okay. Dave Todd receiving weather facts on 9108 Boston before the show. Yeah, it's one of the frequencies that's often really good with its signal from Boston, sending out weather facts. Brett Wayne, 13650. S is 10 over S9 in Salamanca, New York. Cool. Oh yeah, Kevin Wine. Banks are just, just crazy. Here they just hiked. The fees for all sorts of things, and I did like 2 transactions over my what I'm paying for, and I looked at my account and I was like, oh god, man, they charged me $350 for just 2 transactions overboard. It's like, the hell with you guys. Radio Cairo 98.95, great signal, says PLF Radio. 98.95, do I hear it? It's not super strong, but I hear it. $98.95 kilohertz. So what else is there? What else do we have? They were they were 20. Yeah, they were 20 grand. You're right. They were 18,000, not 1,800. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. They went crazy nuts high. It's interesting. I wonder what Bitcoin's going to do. I wonder where it's going to lead, and it must at some point it's going to stabilize at some amount. I was reading a report. There's this guy saying that Bitcoin's going to disappear. No, I don't think so. I think Bitcoin is here to stay. I think Bitcoin is really here to stay. But I think, but what at what amount will it stabilize at some point? Rock Ristorante says 98.95 is S8 in Stockholm. So, yeah, that's the biggest problem, MDK2. The fees, like PayPal fees, when somebody sends a large amount, well, the fee compared to the amount is not bad. But, if that's the way you want to do it, no problem there. Just hold on to the donations and do a big donation once every 6 months or once a year. It's okay. But I understand. When I see some of the donations, sometimes I sometimes think, man, the fees must have been as high as the donation, which is nuts, honestly. It is crazy. Yeah, most of the others are immediate. That's a good thing, The worst about the 21 day is that when I got the U.S. check the other time, that check was actually a cashier's check, which means the amount was proved to be in there. It was reserved for that. And they still froze it for 21 days. I was like, yeah, okay, go, yeah, who cares? Do whatever you want. I was getting annoyed at the teller, so I was like, okay, before I start going crazy in the bank, and they throw me out, okay, just do it. Okay, just do it. I'm letting go. Man, no problem, Karim Rashid. Bobby Ross, nice to have you here. Dark noise. I use an active antenna and up converter now on the RTL dongle. I grounded my coax cable outside with a rod in the ground, and I grounded my power insert indoors. But I still get a nasty hum on some shortwave channels, especially the ones above 40 meter band. How to get rid of it? PC is grounded too. You know what? I have a similar issue here. Getting some hum in many of my reception of signals. And I'm not talking just with an SDR. I'm talking even with a portable radio. I have a general hum. And I gotta say, it's been driving me nuts into trying to identify why I am getting that. One of the things I did think about is, here my office is just above the input of all the electrical counters for the house here. I live in a 6 apartment complex. The counters, the electrical counters, are just below my office. Kind of at the end of it, but it's just below my office. And I always wondered if the input of all the electricity there was the reason why I would get a lot of hum. But even when I'm outside on the balcony in the backyard, which is far away from here, I get that hum too. And I've been wondering, actually, why am I getting a hum like that? Now, on an SDR, an RTL dongle, even if you're grounded, your computer might actually have a hum still give a hum in your RTL dongle. Especially if your USB ports. Sometimes I've noticed over years that a lot of USB ports are not super stable in their voltage. Some are not as stable as others. And actually, I suspect that some USB ports are voltage, or sometimes the reason why some USB dongles that you put a USB key with your files on it and suddenly it stops working. I think sometimes the voltage is too high. So I don't know. Anybody has any advice for hum? I got hum. I've got hum even on my portable radios, not even plugged into the wall socket when signals are strong. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. Keith Gottwald, nice to have you here. Is ham radio okay this week? I don't really exactly understand the question, but ham radio is always great. If you have to know, this week, Thursday evening, we have good propagation. I was on CB band and some context was possible. And upper lower sideband channel 35 to 40. Wow, nice. Probably had some sporadic E-skip again. Pauline Steckler said, I think some other crypto coin will replace Bitcoin eventually. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. One of the things that's crazy with all of that is, I think they, you know what, Paul? I think they all have, the biggest problem is when one cryptocurrency becomes really popular, everything explodes. So the fees explode. When the Bitcoin was really high, the fees were crazy. And cryptocurrency is a big problem for the power consumption because of the way that they use all the computers and all the computing power to build the Bitcoin blockchains and everything. It's just nuts, Well, they're not banning Bitcoin, but some countries are actually regulating it. There are some countries that are thinking, but you know what? You can't really ban a Bitcoin because you'll have, you're on the internet. If you own Bitcoins and your country says, hey, you're not allowed to own Bitcoins, hey, the hell with it. I have Bitcoins and I'll exchange them somewhere else and then have the money come into my account. That's it. You can ban the use of a Bitcoin within the territory, but you can't ban the use of Bitcoins themselves. It doesn't work like that, Just crazy. Just crazy. What else do we have? Spain coming good on 17,715. 17,715. Nothing here. Is it on 17? Nope. 15,520 is another frequency. Spain very strong. 15,520.
Historias paralelas o simultáneas, ¿no? 4 historias de amor, ¿no? Y luego, el viaje político y sentimental por una etapa del siglo XX bastante dura, ¿no?
Bueno, en medio siglo da tiempo de todo.
So Radio Exterior de España.
La novela acompaña la vida entera de un personaje desde su
on 15,520.
Es algo que nunca me había tocado narrar, la vida entera de un personaje que en la actualidad tendría más o menos unos 75 años y que todo lo que le sucede está marcado por dos fenómenos atómicos, ¿no? Las bombas que suceden cuando él es niño y el accidente de Fukushima que sucedió en 2011. A mí me conmovió mucho.
Spain's pretty strong in 15,520. I sure miss the times when they had English and French language programs. Free Saxon, nice to have you on board. Says 40 meters was booming. Danny, Shortwave Radio DX, nice to have you on board from cloudy Yonkers, New York. Hi, here it's sunny Montreal. Cold, but sunny Montreal. Well, cool. We're in the 60s. Just a little cool. But, you know, I like that kind of weather, honestly. Oxford Shortwave Log, nice to have you here. That's another cool channel to look at. Oxford Shortwave Log has great videos on his channel for you guys that have never gone there. No problem, Keith Gottwald. What else do we have? What else do we have? Let's try to... Left Radio says 17715 is good signal also. Good signal also. Any newly installed LED street lights near a place? No, but here, you know what? And I haven't mentioned that actually. The hum that I have has always been here since I moved here in 2000, and since 2000, even on my Icon receiver, on very strong, powerful signals, got a 60 hertz hum. There's something interfering or humming its way through my stuff. And if I use a portable radio, because you might think, well, you know, maybe your antenna where it's placed. I'm kicking the camera all the time, and so you might say, well, you know, maybe your antenna is getting all the hum from something and blah blah. No, I use a portable radio with telescopic on the balcony, far from power lines, and I get the hum. There's really something weird. Really something weird. I don't understand it. David in Barcelona, nice to have you here, as we were, of course, listening to Spain as you got here. Not bad. Not bad. What else is there here? You know what, Gordon? Let's see here. Let's try the bands. Let's try the bands and see what it sounds like. Let's tune 20 meter band and see what's there, and let's tune the 40 meter band and see what's there. What about that? Danny Shortwave says his MFJ 1886 survived an 80 mile per hour wind gust. However, the copper tube loop got bent, so I took it down for repair. Huh. Darn winds. Keegan says it's 88 Fahrenheit, sunny. That's too warm for me. I like 70s. And I'm actually happy to have fixed my fridge, because with the money that I did not spend on my fridge, I am spending that money on new air conditioning for the home here. I had air conditioning only in my bedroom so that I could sleep well. But this year I was thinking, well, you know what? I want to have air conditioning everywhere. So I went to check it out. So I had, you know, the choice between window air conditioning stuff. But here is, you know, my place is quite big. So I would need more than one air conditioning to have all the house done. And I would need big ones, which means they're super heavy and really complex to put in the windows here. So I finally bought two air conditioning, two 14,000 BTU portable air conditioning that are on wheels. So they there's going to be one in the kitchen and one in my office here. All is needed is a little something in the window for the tubes to have the exchange of air and the heat go out. So I was happy. It was like, well, okay, the money I saved from the fridge, I'll put it on air conditioning. So that's, but the 2 units like that will cost me almost $1,000. But at least they'll be good for years, and you know what? I won't go crazy sweating this summer. And especially, you know, I work from home. I do YouTube videos all the time. So I thought, you know what? Might as well be you know, and cool air inside, and while I'm working, and be happy. I go nuts when temperatures go above go above 80s, in the 80s for U.S. guys, above like 27 Celsius, I start to go nuts. And here in Montreal, the problem is when it's hot in July, when it's 30 Celsius or close to the 90s, it's always super humid. So it's like you're dripping away your life. It's just crazy hot, and I can't stand it. I'm a polar guy. I should have been born at the North Pole or something. It's funny because all my friends tell me, it's like, you're nuts. What? You like winter and you're always complaining when it's hot. And I'm like, yeah, I am. I don't like it when it's hot. And I am happy in winter because of that. I don't mind winter. I'm one of those weird people that doesn't hate winter. But everybody around me is like, I hate winter. It's cold. It's bad. I want to have summer. I do like summer, but when it's 90 degrees, I want to be at the beach. I don't want to be at home sweating my life away. 0xBACA, nice to have you on board from Poland, my friend. Opening second beer. We're what? An hour in 16 minutes into the show. Second beer now. Not too bad. Whoops. And of course, we'll be tuning the bands. We're going to tune the ham bands a little bit and see what's there. And if you guys hear signals or anything, we'll be checking that out. We're reaching 85 viewers right now. Hello, everybody. Hello to the silent voices that are watching but not interacting with us. I've never counted. Like when we reach 100 viewers, how many are interacting in the chat room? How many people are in the chat room right now? I guess, I don't know. Can I see something here? So I see the participants with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I have 18 participants from what I see here. I mean, there's so many people watching that are silent voices, not interacting. Some of them they can, because if you don't have an account, you can't do it. But I mean, there's a lot of people watching that are just never interacting with anyone. So it's kind of nice, if anybody that's watching right now that doesn't have a Gmail account or anything because they can't get into the chat, it'd be fun. Why not write and send a little email to officialshortwaveradio@gmail.com. Take the time to just say, hi, I'm watching from whatever place around the world. Voice yourself. Just say hello so that we know who's watching. Kind of a little test here. So everybody that's watching, that's not interacting in the chat, and that does not, some people don't want to interact. I had somebody say, I love your shows. I'm shy type. I don't like to interact in the chat room with other people. I'm kind of, and it's all right. I mean, there's a lot of different people, and I totally get it. That some people don't want to. But hey, why not just join? Just send me a little something. It doesn't have to be very complicated. Just say, hey, I'm in that country, watching right now. I'm not in the chat, but I am watching. So official shortwave radio at gmail.com. Let's try that little experiment. And we're going to try it a few times as we go through, because I suspect there's also a lot of in and outs from people watching for a little while, then going away, and other people's watching. Because, I mean, when we reach 100 people, what, 1/3 of you are probably in the chat talking. The 60 or 70% left are not interacting. That's something interesting. And I want to know. I want to know who you are and where you are. You don't have to be very, very, talkative. You can just say, hi, I'm watching and I'm from France. I'm watching, I'm from New Zealand. That's it. I don't require more than that. I can not even say your name if you don't want to. I don't have no problem with that. But it'd be interesting to see who's watching and not interacting just say a quick hello, just a quick hello. I think it's going to be nice to see. So official shortwave radio at gmail.com, official shortwave radio at gmail.com. I'm going to look at the email regularly and see if you guys are interacting with us. I think it's going to be nice. I think it's going to be really, really nice for those that are there, but not interacting with us on the chat room. Gordon says, after the show, I'm going to head to the nice, cool basement and try overseas. It's been hard lately. Yeah, I like to have a to have some DX, and that's what I like. One of the questions somebody was asking me once is that, I see your videos and I'm trying to have the same hype that you've got in listening. And he says, well, do you have the hype all the time? Are you always, I want to listen to Shortwave today? And okay, let's put it in perspective. I'm a big fan of Shortwave Radio, absolutely. I listen quite often. Sometimes several days, sometimes it could be weeks at a time that my radio's always on and tuning around while I do other stuff like listening to or doing YouTube videos. But I will have my periods where I'm more calm. So for example, the past month, I turned on the radio maybe only once or twice a week for short periods of time to listen. I've not been listening a lot in the past month. There are natural ups and downs, I think, in our hobby. And, summertime, okay, if I have the choice between staying at home alone, listening to shortwave, and looking at YouTube videos that I might be making, or a friend calls me and says, hey, it's, 80 degrees outside and we're having a beer downtown on a terrace. What are you doing? I probably will be downtown outside in the terrace having a beer rather than listening to shortwave. But, and I think the summertime and the different seasons change our habits of listening. Yes, my radios are on much, much more in the wintertime. For several reasons. Wintertime brings interesting propagation, different propagation. Every season has a different propagation characteristic. And you're indoors. When it's minus 25, I do like winter. And I don't really mind going outside at minus 25. But I'll admit that at minus 25, I'll probably stay indoors more often. And of course, that brings me to the radios more often. Summertime, well, unless I'm doing DXpeditions, Perry Island, stuff like that, I tend to, okay, what I like to do, listen, sit on the balcony, read a little something. For example, one of the things I love doing is I'm subscribed to the Spectrum Monitor, which is an amazing, for those that don't know about that publication, Spectrum Monitor, amazing publication for any radio hobbyist. Lots of cool information and very interesting read of everything about a radio. And so what I'll do is I'll go outside, bring a portable receiver, tune the bands, listen to some of the broadcasts, some of the shortwave band broadcasts, and read the Spectrum Monitor slowly on either my tablet or I'll bring a laptop and read it. I'm actually surprised that even with my new Galaxy S9 phone, screen is actually so big that I've been surprising myself to even read the Spectrum Monitor right there on my phone, and I enjoy doing that. It's kind of fun. You read your publication, and I've always enjoyed reading about radio when I'm listening to the radio. For some reason, it's like I want to read something about radio. Of course, there's the Messenger, this Canadian International DX Club Messenger. A lot of you have subscribed to this publication. I will read the CIDX Messenger while I'm listening to shortwave on the balcony outside. enjoying time, even having a beer or just having, plain flavored water or whatever. So, it's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. So, it changes, and the habit of listening changes, and you can't be hyped all the time. But of course, I gotta be hyped. If I'm here in front of the camera, I'm not gonna say, well, I'm not listening to shortwave. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't listen to that. No, I can't do that. I do have a shortwave show. I got at least to be a minimum of, this is happening right now. We gotta listen in. Like last week was the Mars, the Military Auxiliary Radio System cross-band talk with amateur radio stations. I didn't post any videos because I didn't get strong enough signals to really post anything interesting. But I did spend a good chunk of last Saturday tuning around the frequencies. Then I got something that came up. Friends called me up. Hey, we're going out tonight, eat at a restaurant, whatever. Coming with us. Okay, well, it's time to leave the radio alone. But I did tune in, and you gotta, you gotta adapt yourself also. But I try to keep a listening schedule as much as possible, listening into different stations. Last night, I saw somebody on Twitter saying, listening to the Report of the Week, and I was like, oh man, I want to listen to the Report of the Week. I haven't listened to it in a couple of weeks. So, I looked at the schedule. It's like, okay, 0100, 5850. And I just went on 5850, and it was there, a decent signal. Listened to Report of the Week. I listened to the BBC, 11810 yesterday around 2100. Signal was amazing. BBC World Service from Ascension Islands, 11810 was great. So, you got to keep it up sometimes. It's not always easy, but it's kind of interesting. So I'm repeating myself. We're now at 95 on my counter here of people watching. If you're watching, you're not in the chat room, take the time to send me a little hello, just mentioning from where you are from. Let's do that little experiment, okay? Because maybe you don't want to be in the chat. If you don't want me to mention your name, I won't. Just say, hey, I'm anonymous, but I'm in, Brazil, listening in, whatever. Official Shortwave Radio at gmail.com. Let's try to have the maximum amount of non-participation. At least just check in and say hello. I think it could be very, very interesting to see who's watching. And we'll wait a little 10-15 minutes, and we'll look at the email and see if people are checking in. It's going to be interesting to see. Okay. Denny Shortwave says, even had 3 tornadoes nearby. Wow. Richard Cook, 11635 right now. I don't know if it's still on. Let's just check it out. Anything here? Yep, it's there. It's not bad. Cuban number station, 11635. So Cuban number station 11635. Well, you know what, Gordon? It's part of the experience also. Doing this live show, one of the things that I want is also to share the knowledge of others, share in the information of other. There's other great YouTube channels out there, and I don't want to be the only thing. The only thing that people watch. I want to be one thing that people watch for specific reasons, and there's tons of other shortwave channels that have a lot of to offer. And I always say, if you have a shortwave channel, I've not talked about it, send me the link to on official Shortwave Radio, or just post the link in the comments below this live show. and say, hey, I got this channel, and I'll take a look at it. The only rule that I want is that the majority of the videos that you do are radio related. And of course, try not to have extremist type content. I don't want to share things like that. But if the majority of what you do is radio videos of any kind, well, let me know. Let me know. I would like to talk about your channel and kind of highlight your channel. And you'll get, a few new subscribers at the same time, honestly. Casper Peterson, nice to have you here. Always cool to have you here. Vladimir, nice to have you on board, Vladimir from Russia. Really cool. Really cool. Brett Wayne says, I'm a Swede. I like it cold. It's too hot in Salamanca, New York in the summer. Okay, so we agree. I'm not the only one that's crazy. Man. So what else do we have? Okay, let's try to go down here a little more. We have Roller 007. Nice to have you here. Electronics USA. Nice to have you here. Enjoying the show from Southern California this afternoon. Well, have a nice break and cheers. Nice to have you here. What else do we have? Cook Rick, Richard Cook. Long time I haven't said Cook Rick. I would say Richard. E06 on 5731 in a few minutes for Europe. That'll be a European thing, absolutely. Mick 8, nice to have you here, Mick. Always nice to have you on board. Always nice to have you on board. McGlone, Royal Welding will be on shortwave. Oh man. If there's one thing, you know what? It's very interesting because yesterday the BBC World Service, they had, I think it was a food show, and they talked about the food that will be served at the royal wedding. And I was thinking to myself how I just, really can't understand personally how people are amazed and interested at that. I mean, I'm like, what the hell? Are we still in 1545? What, it's just crazy. But I guess, But there was a, I did see a, they actually asked the British population, they did a survey if they were interested in the royal wedding, and the majority said, nah, we don't care. So I guess, times are changing. Dennis Walter, nice to have you here. Dennis Walter, we're almost at 100, 98. Come on, let's get the 2 more that we need to get 100. I like that 100 round number. It's really nice. Oh, 102. Woohoo! We're 102. Bobby says, any other number stations catchable in North America besides HM01 and XP82? Yeah, there are quite a few, Bobby. I've over the last year, I've had a lot of different number stations, including the ones from I heard like the Poland, a few ones from Russia, a few from Poland coming in. So depending on the time of year, if you look at the Preom website where they have the schedules, check every day, because one of the things that some people have not noticed on Preom is that the schedules are not the same every day. So for example, you got XP82 on a specific frequency, specific time today. It's not there tomorrow on the same frequency. They alternate the frequencies during the different days of the week and in the weekend. So that means you got to check that schedule every day, because every day it ain't the same schedule. There's the regulars, but there's the ones that have switched frequency. Just like Cuba. HM01 from Cuba doesn't use the same frequencies every day. They are there every day, but at the same time will have a different frequency depending on the day of the week. So you got to watch the pre-om schedules all the time. Crusader, nice to have you on board from Washington, D.C. VK2 FBAJ, nice to have you on board from Sydney, Australia. Hiventini, nice to have you on board, Tyler. He's in Texas. Darkness says, for example, 5960 gives a bad hum. I'm not sure I'm getting 5960 right now. Yeah, it's there. So I don't have a hum. Is it very strong? Just add a question, Dark Noise. Do you have it very strong at your location? Because, for example, if I go, I'm trying to find one. So look at here, 13845. I'm hearing WWCR really strong. Try to listen in when she's not talking. There's a hum, a 60 hertz hum. We hear it really well now. Now, I don't know if that could be a hum from them also, but in many of the stations, particularly when the stations are very strong, I often get a hum. And if I don't know if it's the same hum that you have, but crazy. Yep, priom.org is a great place for that. And every day the schedules are not the same, so it's important to look every day at the schedules on Priom. Todderbert, nice to have you on board. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yep, we're above the 100 right now. Rand Radio DXer says, wait, there's a royal wedding? Yeah. Oxford Shortwave Law says, the royal wedding is all over the TV tonight. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, you know what? What's nuts? I think it's a girl thing. First of all, it's a girl thing. Oxford Shortwave Log just gave us the great example. He says his girlfriend and her mom are going to be glued to the TV. This is, first of all, a girl thing. You know, I mean, I don't see many guys that are going to watch the royal wedding. I don't know. I can't see myself looking at a royal wedding and doing, oh, this is so cute. That's really not me. I don't know. I'm kind of probably too guy for that. I don't know. But I can see, you know what, in my circle of friends, I have not asked, but I can see, I have the image of a few girls around my circle of friends that I'm pretty sure are going to be glued to watch that. And we're like, oh, look at that. Oh, she's wearing that dress. Oh, look at that, the shoes. Oh, man, have you seen? Oh, did you see what he's wearing? Oh, look at that. Oh, that must be the bridesmaid. It's like, who cares? I'm like, who cares? What the hell? Let's put on a movie or something. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Well, okay, let's be fair. PLF Radio says almost each TV channel in France will broadcast the royal wedding tomorrow. I would guess that the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, the CBC, will probably broadcast that. That's why I'm not watching TV tomorrow. I'll be on Netflix and watch something else. I don't know. It's crazy. Crazy. Just crazy. XADX, US TV networks, ABC, CBS, and NBC will broadcast the royal wedding. Really? I don't know. I don't get it. Am I the only one that doesn't get it? I don't get it. I don't get it. What the hell? What the hell? Danny, Shortwave Radio DX says, I heard on a radio talk show yesterday, what is the deal with some European countries talking about getting rid of I can't say DAB. I can't see that DAB is popular. I don't understand that. Just crazy. So, you know, it's just... Okay, so you got it strong. So it sounds like me a little bit, Dark Noise. When the signals are very strong, they have a hum. I got that also. What are you talking about, William Helms? Oh, God. Yeah, Mick, I understand. Weighted Cube. Hey, nice to have you here. Blanchard. Nice to have you on board. Oh, man. You know. Mickey Delmage, nice to have you on board from Alberta, Canada. Have the outdoor speakers hooked up so I can sit on the deck and listen. Wow, cool. Hot here. Been watching W5KUB on YouTube at Dayton. They're getting wet there. Oh. Well, hope you're having some good time. Dark Knight says 7285 gives me as well when talking. Comes in hot as well. Yeah. I think it's a little bit like me when the signals are very strong. Because it's not very strong, but when you know what, when the signals from China Radio International are really, really strong, I often get a hum. Yeah, Norway was the first country. Norway was the first country, absolutely, to do away with FM broadcasts. So, yeah, Oxford, it's a girl thing, absolutely. Tell you, I can probably look at my Facebook friends, and I probably can pinpoint every single woman in my Facebook friends that are gonna say, "Oh yeah, I'm watching the royal wedding. It's so beautiful." You know, it's like, what the hell? You know, sometimes I think it's because, you know, when you look at all the movies, the children's movies, with you know, princess and all sorts of things like that. I think it just goes to the fact that, you know, little girls get kind of brainwashed of, you know, beautiful weddings and princesses and all of these things, and as they grow up, it's kind of the world they were brought in. So it's kind of, oh, this is so cute, and that's the real life equivalent of a princess that will be married. You know, it's princess and the prince thing. It's a story. Todderbird says my wife is glued to her iPad playing some dragon game. So, you know, it's just crazy. Just crazy. David says, same here in Spain. We had our wedding a long time ago. Yeah. You know, it's just funny. It's just funny. Okay. Super 20 Dan, nice to have you here. Anything on 10 meter FM? Let's go, because you know what? I had some CB stuff earlier. Let's go to 29,700. Go in FM mode. That is a mode I don't use on this radio, really. And let's check it out. Anything happening? Nothing much. 29,660 and 29,620, usually the ones. Let's try the... I believe 28,400 is the 10 meter calling frequency. If you guys can tell me. I don't see much on 10 meters. Look at all the lines of harmonics from interference I have on 10 meters. Crazy. Don't really have nothing there. Let's do what I wanted to do earlier. Let's start by looking at 18168. We'll check the 17 meter band. Any hams on the 17 meter band? Anything there? There's something here. There's some FT8 or something on 18100. Okay. Let's check out the 20 meter band. What's on 20 meters? Anything on 20 meters? Let's just go here. 20 meters. Well, here I don't see much happening on the 20 meter band right now. Something here. Something here. Let's check out the 40 meter band. Quiet amateur bands right now. I'll try a little later for sure. Check out what's there in the different amateur bands. Weighted Cube says, I think in the UK not a lot of people really care. I always kick the camera. Sorry guys. I'm positioned different, so that's why. Ah, God. That is true. That is true. Brad Wayne says the girls that listen to shortwave won't watch. Yeah. Because the girls that listen to shortwave are probably, you know, it's like when I see amateur radio women, you know, that have their license, they often are like more guy-like. I mean, I don't mean in their looks. They're super feminine and they are women, but so often when you listen to them talk, it's you know, you're not. It's like, oh, I'm not listening. I have the impression I'm not listening to a girl talk. You know, it's like, it depends on what, of course, but just crazy. A cake Brits called spotted dick. It's canned. Okay. I don't know about that cake, but okay. I'll have to look into that spotted dick. Tyler Hammond, nice to have you here. KD8UAY from Ohio, 73s. Mick says spotted dick was my favorite pudding in school. Okay. Oh God. Oh man, I'm gonna have to check that out. You guys are making me learn something here. So, let's check the emails to see if people have, you know, just people that are not in the chat but are just saying, hey, I'm here. So let's check it out here. Okay, we have, oh, long time, Susan in California. She hadn't logged in a long time. She says, I stopped sending the emails, but I am listening almost every time. Enjoy your show. Always enjoy what you do, and am really pleased. You have okay. I have a sexy voice, and she says that I'm a cute guy. Come on, over the camera. I look at myself here in that image, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure. She says that she enjoys the show all the time. She's been watching also my tech shows, and she says, just thank you for everything you do. It's amazing, it's great, and it brings a lot of people together that without your live shows would not have met or would not even know that we are all in a big community of radio listeners and amateur radio operators. Wow, thank you. Kind of nice. Also checking in from From Venezuela, Marcos says, I'm listening in. I'm in Venezuela. I regularly watch. Do not participate. I am the silent type. And my English not so good. So continue. It's nice to see you every Friday on the live show. And thank you. Cool. Thank you, Marcus. We have Matthew. Watching from Missouri. Cuban numbers coming in really good. And nice to have you on board, Matthew. And he says the Cuban number was stronger than he's heard in a long time. We have Robert H. checking in from the state of Arizona. And he says that he is a shortwave listener, been listening for the past 40 years to the shortwave bands, but had stopped listening to the bands somewhere in the mid-90s. Started going on the internet on YouTube and found your channel 2 years ago and stumbled upon one of your live shows. And you actually made me get my radios out of the basement. And I am listening again and a happy shortwave listener. Things sure have changed in all the years. But one thing for sure, shortwave will live on. And I'm happy to have somebody like you that actually made me learn tons of things about shortwave. And also made me understand that I'm not alone in the shortwave hobby and that there's other peoples out there that are just listening in. Thanks for all you do. Really appreciate it. Well, thank you very much. What else do we have? We have Anonymous. I like that. Anonymous. Hello there. I am listening from Latvia. Thank you for a live show. This is my third time watching. So Latvia, hello there, Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous in Latvia. Also here we have another email coming in from, just check it out here. So Omar, that is watching the live stream from Belgium. Omar says that he watches quite regularly on the Friday. He unfortunately can't make the Saturday shows due to some family business, but he really enjoys the show. Always watches the Saturday one after it was recorded. He finds it really cool now that the chat room is actually being displayed after the show is recorded, as he can see and read what everybody's been commenting about. Well, thanks. It's nice to have you on board, Omar from Belgium. We have G. Dingus, or from the Netherlands. Says, hello, I'm listening almost every week to your program. I am Jared from the Netherlands and the city of Omen. So, hey, nice to have you on board, my friend. Cool. That's what we have right now for our people watching, but not necessarily always interacting with us. So it's cool to see all these people checking in. Once again, I want to stress out, and I'm putting this out again. If you're in the viewers, you just want to say hello. We'd like to know where you are from. You know, in the chat room, all of these people that tells us, tell us where they are, and and we get acquainted with all these people all the time, and I get used to all the same names and seeing new names also around, and it's really, really nice to see that. But obviously, when we look at the number of people interacting versus the number of people that are watching, a lot of people watching are never in the chat or never really commenting or anything. So don't be shy. Send a little email and say, hey, I'm watching from whatever country. I'm watching and I love your shows, or, even if you hate my shows, say, hey, I've been watching today, I hate you. What the hell? I can't, not everybody can love you. And I don't know why everybody loves me generally, but anyways, that's another story. So anyways, it's kind of cool, we're getting people here that are watching and they're just, saying hi. So official Shortwave Radio at gmail.com. Join in and let us know you're watching. We want to know who you are, and we'll do the same thing tomorrow, the live show tomorrow, 2000 UT. It's nice to see who's watching and where you are from. I'd like to know. I'm totally amazed every week, every time, to see people from around the world watching my live feed. You guys don't know what it feels, but it's so weird, because I'm here alone. All I've got in my face is a chat, a camera. I got my 2 computers, my SDR. There's nobody else. There's Paul the Cat sometimes, which is not around right now. But it's like talking to myself almost, because I if there was not a chat room, I would even wonder, the only thing, it's nice to see that there's a round number of people watching. But it is really nice to see people from around the world. We all gather here for the fun of radio. And it's a great honor for me, honestly, to host this. I still remember the first show I did, and there was like 7 people watching. And you're like, wow, and I've moved on, and we're at more than 100 in the live show, which for me is pretty interesting, especially for a show that deals about a very unique, very niche thing, shortwave radio, and amateur radio. And every week, I'm amazed. And every week, I always get the same feel. Every time I shut down the chat, I shut down the live show, the stream. First thing I tell myself is, it's funny. It's as if I was in a room full of people for a couple of hours, for 3 hours, 4 hours. And I shut down, and I'm like, well, I'm alone. I'm alone with myself and my cat, It's very, very unique. And I probably never say it enough. I want to thank everybody that's watching, because I never say enough how I appreciate everybody watching. Regular fans, people are watching every week. You guys are great. Thanks everybody that have donated. Some have donated equipment. Look at the ephedry. The ephedry. I love the ephedry. Donated by one of the viewers. My sloper antenna in the backyard, donated by a viewer. I've got radios that I still need to review, donated by viewers. Wow, it's just so cool, and it couldn't be, and I couldn't do this if it wasn't for all of you. We had there was all sorts of things happening. There were ups and downs. There's idiots that tried to make me pass for some kind of of guy that shouldn't be here because of come on, I probably am the greatest guy in the world. Yesterday I posted a review on my tech channel. We posted a review of my Galaxy S9 phone, the new S9 Plus that I got. But I had to compare it to my S7, and somebody that I never hear anything about sent me a comment, a private comment, and said, you know what, that review of your S9 Plus is the most honest review I've seen on all over the web. You took away I've got an S9 Plus and it's an amazing phone, and you were able to honestly say, if you got an S7 Edge or S8 Plus, there's really no need to go to S9 Plus. And you actually mentioned why it was like that. And he said, you know what? He said, it was the most honest thing I've seen. You could have just said, well, it's an amazing phone, get it. And well, that's what I want to do with Shortwave Radio also. If I talk about a radio, I don't want to talk about a radio just because, oh, this is good. That's why, I've had the occasion in the past year and a half of having sponsors. Okay? A couple of companies. They didn't work out. Why? Why? Because if I have to sell my soul to make money, I don't want to do this. That's not why I'm here for at all. I'm here to try to be as honest as possible with everything that I talk about. And if a radio is a crappy thing, I'll tell you it's a crappy thing. If a radio has a flaw, I'll tell you what flaw it has. And it's I want to keep that. You know what? Monetization has been better with YouTube in the past since the beginning of the year. I'm really happy because 2017, I wasn't sure I was going to continue. I was about to quit YouTube and just like, okay, what the hell? I'll go on in life and do some other thing. I gambled a lot with YouTube on making a living with it. Well, you know what? 2018 right now is not bad at all. If you still want to donate, it's cool. But you guys probably noticed that I actually am much less stressful about getting donations. I talk about it more relaxed because last year I was in panic mode. Donations were really what made me go through 2017. Without them, it was not possible. The donations helped me compensate for what YouTube monetization could not. 2018, if I had 0 donations, honestly, it pays the bills and I can live with it. Donations, you know what? I keep the donations in my PayPal account a lot, and when something breaks down, I pay with the donations most of the time. Sometimes some people give a donation and say, hey, I'm gonna give you donations, get some beer, and I won't annoy you guys with that much, but I'll just display it here once for today. If you guys want to donate a little something, helps me continue with what I'm doing. So here's the details of the donation: PayPal.me/shortwave and patreon.com/radio and computers. A little weird. As we were talking earlier, they all take their percentage and their fee when donations are given. Unfortunately, that's the biggest problem. But Patreon is the worst probably because it takes double fees. It doesn't take double fee. It takes one fee, but the problem is Patreon takes a fee, and then when I send it to PayPal, it takes a fee. Plus the fee of transferring US dollars and Canadian if I need to or whatever. These companies are there to make money, so they make money with money. That's the way it works. Thanks everybody who donated. If you have never donated and you love what I do, think about it. There's honestly, one or probably not more than 1 or 2%, barely 2% of people watching that actually donate. It's a very small number, And it's okay. I can understand some people don't have the money and so on. But anyways, thanks everybody. Okay, I'm gonna stop blabbing and whining about that. Okay, let's continue now. What else do we have here? Let's go to So going down, I'm far in the chat here. Where is I? Okay, I'm here. I saw that. Coverage beginning at 5 a.m. on ABC. Wow, nuts. That is nuts. That is nuts. Spotted dick. I'm still laughing my head off a spotted dick. Oh God. Weighted Cube says, I'm not happy how the taxpayers' money is going towards the wedding. You know. We turned this shortwave show to a royal wedding show. Not too much. We just barely touched the consequence. So, you know. You know what? I'm sure, I mean, there's, here in Quebec we're a little different because there's a lot of French-speaking people, but, you know, Canada in general being, you know, for a lot of people, British ancestry. I'm sure there must be an audience for that, you know. So Breathwing says 28,400. Okay. Yeah, well, we have to. Well, you know what, BLF Radio, because that's what I wanted to do last time, and we didn't really like talk much about it. But tomorrow we should do that. I will actually concentrate on looking at EIBI space a little more details, but there's a lot of unusual stuff on the EIBI space schedules to look at. So, yep, Saint Pierre stations absolutely carry the BBC. That's where I often listen to BBC NewsHour. There's a Vermont Public Radio station, a VPR station that I listen to from Burlington, Vermont, on 107.9. Super 20 Dan, did I ever hear anything on 10 meter FM mode? Tons of things. Tons of things. I heard. I remember in the height of solar activity in the 90s. I was going with a friend of mine up north often, and I would bring along a scanner radio. It would go down to 29 megahertz, and I was listening back then in the winter. I remember it was in February, and listening to the Virgin Islands repeater on 29660. And when there's sporadic E-skip, I often hear 29620. I think it's from New York, skipping here. I heard tons of things on 10 meter FM. When sporadic E-skip happens, when you start hearing signals on the channel 6 of the CB band, check out the it's rather quiet right now. Check out the FM portion of the 10 meter band. Absolutely. William Helm says 28,600. What's a woman claim to be her own independent country? Why not? Maybe I could do that. Can I claim that my apartment is my own independent country? I'll call it Shortwave Land. Shortwave Land. I am, and I'll put royalty, I am the king of Shortwave Land of Canada. Oh God. Okay, too much beer now. Richard Cook says, picked up Transworld Radio on medium wave on 1465 kilohertz. Wow, that's nice. Mick says, I watch a couple of your Tech Windows show, but well, you know, I gotta say one thing, Mick. I'm more of a if I have a choice, honestly, I'll be very honest. I do the tech shows because I have fans that watch and like what I do there. But sometimes I've been thinking of, you know, just keeping the shortwave live shows and that's it. But I can't do that because I can't. When I think about all the fans that watch me on the tech show also. You know, I do that. I can't say, you know, I'm kind of stuck there a little bit. So we'll see, anyways. Rock Restaurante says it's crowded on 80 meters, quiet geomagnetic field. You know, I like talking about 80 meters. That Kiwi SDR in Sweden. I listen to that so often. I love tuning around that Swedish Kiwi SDR. It's sensitive. And it's so interesting. At least a dozen times I tuned the medium wave band at night there, and just love to see the difference. You know, here in Montreal, I hear, you know, U.S. stations and a couple of Canadians. It's like, wow, just crazy. Dark Noise. Are there any US shortwave stations that broadcast towards Europe? I would love to hear some, but I don't receive them at all over here. WRMI, I believe, does. WRMI does, for sure. Oh, really, man, Radio DXer? Reading my emails reminds of the DX mailbag on Radio Romania. Kind of. Hey, John. Nice to have you here from Pembroke Pines, Florida. Nice to have you here. Svetlana Rodriguez. Nice to have you here. Pretty cool. Nice to have everybody here. It's always fun. It's always fun. Friday mailbag with Jill. This is the mailbag show on the YouTube channel. Hey, Shah. Nice to have you here. Says you're a very lovable guy, Jill. Watching from Colombo, Sri Lanka. 3:26 in the morning. Wow. Really nice. Sri Lanka. Really nice. Nice to have you on board. Here in Montreal, just to let you know, it's right now it's 6:10 p.m. or 18:10, 24-hour clock, but 6:10 p.m. early evening. With the sunshine outside, the trees are now full grown, almost full grown leaves. It's green. Summertime is back. Thanks, Shah. Nice to have you here. Jason Stafford. Nice to have you here watching. Pretty cool. Joel De Baca. Nice to have you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Nice to see new names also. Really, really cool. John says, just wanted to let you know you have a great show, and I am a ham radio operator here in South Florida. Live in the city of Pembroke Pines, Florida. And I no code tech. Pretty cool. Nice to have you on board. Big Stack. Nice to have you here from Ottawa. David says, I was one of those 7, the pioneers. Oh man, I still remember. You know, just having, barely making 10 views in the live show. We need to do something someday to try to beat the record. Record is 144. 144 live viewers. We need to do something to break that 144 record at some point. Darkness says, you get international viewers because shortwave listening is becoming more rare these days as a hobby. There aren't a lot who live stream about this or have regular active podcasts. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, Data Duden. Nice to have you here from Norway. Pretty cool. E-Biker 56, James Frost from Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. Cool. Nice to see the Canadians watching from different provinces. Yeah, it's really, really nice. Daniel Edward, nice to have you here from New Jersey. I always enjoy your shows. Sometimes I watch them at a later date. You're better than most TV shows. Wow. That feels good. Better than most TV shows, apparently. Okay. Is the stream alright? I just saw a big drop in viewers, and sometimes when that happens, some people complain of some slowdown, but no, everything seems green and okay here. I don't know. Kellen 2, yes, you're fantastic. Come on. What else? Radio Romania 9760. Let's check it out. Radio Romania 9760.
Radio Romania International Contest, Alba Iulia, the City of the Union. Dear friends, Radio Romania International invited to participate in a new prize-winning contest entitled Alba Iulia, the City of the Union, devoted to the celebration of 100 years since the territories of the predominantly Romanian population united in a nation-state. The Grand National Assembly of Alba Iulia in central Romania, held on December the 1st, 1918, sealed the union of the provinces of Bessarabia, Bukovina, Transylvania, Banat, Crișana, Maramureș, and Sătmar.
And let's look at
December the first is Romania's King Jerusalem, the capital of...
Voice of Turkey, 9830 kilohertz. Pretty good also. Voice of Turkey, 9830 kilohertz right now. Who said shortwave's dead? Romania and Turkey at the same time.
Peaceful protests. Palestinians in Gaza, which has been turned into an open-air prison, held protests against the act. Israeli soldiers used real bullets against Palestinians.
Okay, this is very political right now, but anyways.
2,770 others. While the Palestinians were being killed on the streets, U.S. President Donald Trump's daughter and his son-in-law were busy at the opening ceremony with celebrations. Despite hundreds of video footage proving the crimes of Israel, U.S. administration chose to put the blame on Hamas, which is a new level in U.S. and Israeli impertinence. The reason behind U.S. being so comfortable with their atrocious relations is that Arab states support U.S. President...
So 9830, Voice of Turkey, and 9760 is Radio Romania. Both with pretty good signals today. Propagation seems to be quite good. So really, really nice. Well, I'm happy, Callum, if it actually has cheered you up. You know what? If I can cheer up people, that's what I want to do. So thanks to Pretoni Dan, thanks to your Turkey comment, I tuned in. Voice of Turkey. Judd Simon, nice to have you here. Pretty cool to have everybody on board as usual. And pretty cool. I will just change position because my ass is hurting. Yes, you did hear it right. My ass is hurting. As if I've been sitting on a brick. Okay. Ralph Bender says, long live the king of shortwave land. King of shortwave land. I want my own country, shortwave land. Lyndon Price, nice to have you here. WWCR also broadcast to Europe, I believe. Yeah, absolutely. Brett Wayne says, I saw the Northern Lights yesterday morning in Salamanca, New York. Wow, at 3 a.m. It must be very dark. Must be very, very dark. Actually, the record show, Richard Cook, is 5 hours and 30 minutes, I believe. That is our record, 5 hours and 30 minutes. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy, honestly. Okay, thanks, Nick, for commenting on the stream. Electronics says stream dropped out in California. You know what? Sometimes when I see the number of viewers drop for like, you know, I see 100, then it drops to 75. I know that some part of the stream probably dropped off. It's like when there's big streaming problems, I see that the counter goes down really fast. Now you know there's something's wrong. But here, you know, I always take a look because when the number goes down fast, I take a look because I see here I have the streaming software that tells me right now that I'm output is an average of 3.5 megabits per second, which is good for HD. I've got green and green also, which usually means I'm sending out tons of data and it should be there. But sometimes, you know, it's like you gotta, things happen. Oh, that's possible, Mad Radio DXer. I see it here. My CPU usage is high. I'm looking at how to maybe another piece of software I could use. But I am definitely in the need for a new laptop now. And when I move fast, I see that the computer doesn't react as well as it did. So I'm trying to see what I can do. Maybe I'm also due to, you know, reinstall Windows in here. But yep, stream sometimes is. I do see it here. When I move fast, I see that there are little things happening. Stream is still there, but things happen. And you know, this is still a 5-year-old. It's almost a 6-year-old laptop now. So you know, I'm asking a lot of an old laptop, and I think it's time to, you know, move on to something more powerful very, very soon. Honestly, for sure. Nick Amendo says this year celebrate 100 years of Romania existence as a state. Oh, wow, cool. That's nice. That's nice. Was that the contest? I don't listen much, but was the contest about that? 100 years of Romania as existence as a state. This is cool. Calvin, nice to have you here. Let me just check something here. Yeah. It is possible. Robert Pokorny, nice to have you here. And he says, whoops, let's just go down. Says, your show gives out a lot of good information. Keep up the good work. I have a question. I would like to buy SDR Excalibur. What's your opinion on and where can I get one? Thanks you. Thank you. You know what? The best. Wow, that's a good question. I don't know where. Let me just check it out here. Excalibur. Just gonna look at something here. Okay. So it's a Win Radio in general. If you want one of those, I would. Two things. Go on eBay or places like that, or go to Amfest where you might find some of those. Is there a specific reason why that is what you want to have, Robert? Just out of curiosity, because there's a lot of SDRs today that are amazing, and I don't know if there's something specific about that one. You know, sometimes we get hooked on the radio, and what we want to have is definitely that radio. And we can't. You know, I think sometimes we're so focused on a specific radio, we don't see what's around it. So that's why I'm asking that question. Ernie Turner, nice to have you on board from Australia. VK3DET, nice to have you here. Pretty cool. You know, how much money you want to have, and you have to spend, and you know, you might have. You might have a really good SDR and something that is less expensive, honestly. Hey, B, nice to have you here. At this moment in time, you have the who's who of the shortwave fraternity in your audience. Nice to have you here. Yeah, 5 hours and 30 minutes, and yes, it was Mad Radio DXer's fault. Absolutely. Beat your record tonight, oh my god, 5 hours and 30 minutes. I gotta say, you know, I'm at 2 hours and 22, and it's pretty easy going tonight. And I think I'm in kind. But if I do 5 hours 30 minutes, I'll go through my 6 packs of beer. I'll start ranting at some point. No, I'm not in a ranting mood. I'm more in a happy, let's have fun mood. Maritime Net is on 20 meters. Yeah, 14,300, right? If my memory serves me right, 14,300 Maritime Net. What is there? Yeah, what do you want to do actually? What do you want to do? Because I can tell you, there's so many. Oh, Bender, if you are king, we were waiting for the next royal wedding. Well, you know what? If the king of Shortwave Land gets married in a royal wedding, I'm sure that every shortwave listener and amateur radio operator, now you guys are going to be the suckers that are going to watch, because it's like, oh man, you know, you're gonna tell your wife, well, your wife's going to say, like, you know, or your girlfriend's like, you're watching a royal wedding. Oh, it's not the same thing. I'll be getting married to my ICOM radio. That sounds so bad. Imagine going to the church and it's like, can I marry my radio? What? Yeah, you heard me right. Can I marry my radio? We're in a... William Helm says, Northern Lights might be why there's noise. We're in a solar wind stream right now. So at any time, there could be some, propagation effect with that and geomagnetic activity. So, it's kind of interesting. What else do we have? Yeah, 5 hours, 30 minutes. Robert says, thank you very much for your help. What brand would you recommend? So, okay, answer the first question, Robert. Do you want to have a radio that just listens to medium wave, shortwave, or you want to have something that is wideband. You go to the VHF, UHF frequencies and everything. It all depends what you want to have. You know, the SDR play, honestly, like Bobby says, the SDR play, not super expensive and really amazing in performance. I have to say, you know, it's going to get you into the radio hobby with an SDR, and in a way that it's actually not too expensive, and you'll have a lot of fun with that. And Nicole says YouTube has lots of trouble today, huh? You know, I see it on the counter. When I see the viewer count go down fast, I know some parts. You know, YouTube sometimes has problems, and because it's not always here. Here I see it. Usually, if my output is no good, what's going to happen is I've got two green lights, one green line and one green line there, kind of an indicator. They usually go down, so they're not full scale. And when they're not full scale, I know that the output from here to YouTube ain't good. And you know, sometimes it could be still YouTube. It could be that they have a problem in receiving the data. Right now, I'm green everywhere, and I'm sending out a lot of data, so it's technically ain't what's happening here. It's what's happening. You know, I got to tell you guys, I am in the midst of trying something. I am thinking of removing the laptop from streaming and use my Galaxy S9 phone for streaming to YouTube Live. For several reasons, because this is a powerful phone, it will do it right, it will do it really well. The camera is amazing, it will do it really, really, really well. And I'll be streaming in 4K if I want. Now, I'll be streaming in 1080 because I don't want to push it, especially with the internet connection I've got. I don't want to push it too much. But I'm thinking of using my phone to start streaming live soon. What that would do is, because one of the technical aspects of streaming, for those that wonder, the technical side of what I'm doing now, is that, okay, I've got a Intel i5, Core i5 machine here, that is the most powerful machine I've got in my home. But it does have some age, you know, it's like 5 and something years, it's almost 6 now. So I'm actually straining my PC to its limit. So if I look right now in Wirecast and I look at the CPU load here is hovering from, right now it's stuck at 100% for some reason. And you know what, I'm just gonna, I know it's gonna have an impact, but I'm just gonna look at something here. So what is taking all of that? Wirecast is 70%. For some reason, something in called system is taking 14%. So my CPU load is stuck at 100% right now. And it probably has to do with all the streaming thing. The problem with that is that I can't, you know, it will impact the live streaming if it's stuck 100%. And I mean, my laptop right now, you know, if you hear the fan, it's like it's maxed out. The fan is you know, I mean, my laptop is sending out so much heat right now because the fan is running maximum. So I have two ideas. One is I need a new laptop. But here's the thing. My laptop, if I don't do streaming, powerful enough. It's a great laptop. It's powerful. It does what I want, and it does it fast. And one of the things I wanted to maybe do is, well, instead of investing in a new laptop, I'll invest in a solid state drive. Because right now it has a 1 terabyte magnetic drive. So invest in SSD and keep that for my work and creating YouTube videos. And because I've got this really powerful phone that has a really nice camera, I was thinking, why not use my phone to live stream? I could do that now. I have this thing that really would be good to live stream. I could even, if I want, probably use my old S7 as a streaming machine, because this one too would stream in 1080p. So I was thinking, keep your money and stream with those things that will actually work much better at streaming, and just use the laptop for the YouTube videos every day that I make, change the hard drive for an SSD, and I'll be okay for a little while, for a couple of years for sure. Because I mean, when I don't stream, if I remove the streaming part of what I do here on this PC, the streaming part is what is taking the most power off of my laptop, honestly. So, you know, it's kind of that. Judd Simon says, we need light beer to go the distance. Yeah, I guess. You need to get the new SDR Play. Yeah, I would need that. To answer the radio, Jill is the king. I want to be the court jester. Darkness says, I'll have him on $37.99 lower sideband. Are you able to receive him? Is he doing a lot of CQ calls to North America? Okay. It's still early here for an 80 meter band listening in to for Europe. You got to take into account that the sun sets in about 2 hours. There's still a lot of sunshine outside, so I don't know if he's really making it. B says, only one question, Joe. Does your mysterious hum happen on your Grundig Classic radio at your side? Everywhere. If it happens on a radio, it will happen on this one. Now, okay, I'll be honest, because you're asking that specific question. Let me think about it. Did I hear that hum? Did I hear that hum on any signals with this radio? Because I'm answering fast. I'm answering the question with the fact that, yeah, I have hum on every radio. So I kind of said, yeah, I've got it there, but I have not received any signals. I'm not sure I received a signal that I hear the hum here. So I'll have to tune in more to a very strong signals. Mick says, here's the thing. A lot of talk about women wasting hours watching a royal wedding tomorrow. I spend 3 to 4 hours every Friday watching Joel. Yeah, I know. Oxford Shortwave Log says, definitely SDR Play RSP1A. 20% the cost of an ELAD, but 95% of the performance. I know because I have both and have tested both. So, that kind of is real world compare, honestly. Danny Shortwave says, I would not recommend buying Win Radio or SDR Play through eBay because of licensing issues. Yeah, that's possible. I don't know. But you know what? Oxford Shortwave Log just answered pretty much a question here. Absolutely. It's kind of interesting to see this. Okay, what else is there? No, not necessarily random accounts, yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that, MDK2, you're right. There are a bunch of SDR SDR plays that were stolen, and now they're being showing up on eBay. Oh, that's true. You got to be careful. There's something about that. I remember. I've always been You might call me a fool. I don't know. It depends on who you are. But you know what? Personally, I've always, been the kind of guy that never wanted to buy anything off of when it's stolen, because I always thought about it and thinking, well, you know what, I don't want my stuff stolen, so we should not buy stuff stolen. The landlord here is an ex-cop. He was telling me that pawn shops, when there's a pawn shop that opens in one vicinity, the amount of entering and breaking to steal stuff in the homes around it actually spike. They actually reach a height because, more stuff gets stolen to be sold at the pawn shop. And, I've always had that side of me that was like, yeah, I know I can have a $50 bike that is worth $1,000, but I can't get myself to buy anything that is like that, because I think at the other side, I think of the guy or the girl that got stolen. I almost got stolen here once, about 10 years ago, before I started YouTubing, actually. I was at the karaoke bar one night, and you know what? Funny story. I got home early. When I go to a karaoke bar, I rarely come back home before it closes at 3 a.m. But that Friday night, I came back home, it was midnight. And while I was coming in the front, there was a guy that just had broken the window in the back, and he was actually entering in my kitchen. So because he heard the noise of me entering, he actually went back through the window and ran away. And the feel that you have of somebody breaking and entering in your home also adds to that. For me, it's like, no, if it's stolen, I don't care if you're, selling it $20. If everybody would, instead of, being selfish idiots that just say, hey, I've got a ICOM R8500 for $50, but you pretty much know that it's stolen, and would say, yeah, I'm going to take that, and be more of, we should not buy anything that has been stolen. Maybe we would talk less about, breaking and entering, honestly. It's just that. And, if you look on eBay, and there was this stock of SDR plates stolen. Absolutely. And you don't want to have that. You don't want to, I would not like to, even though if they sell it for, $25, I would not be happy to know, it's crazy. Oh, Zach Antle, no, really not. That phone, I can tell you one thing, that S9 Plus phone here, that thing would not crazy overload. That thing is capable of doing this and a lot more. A lot more. This thing could stream for 5 hours without any problem. So I will probably do a test. You guys will see me one Friday and I'm going to say, hey, today I'm streaming with my phone, and we'll be able to test out if the quality holds and if it works well. And if it holds and if it works well, you know what? This is going to be a streaming machine. I'll even try with this. If it works with the S7, one of the things that I'm sad is, of course, I've got the S9. So the S7 is nice and beautiful. It's still a beautiful phone. I'm searching for a use for this, because I don't want this to stay doing nothing, because it's an amazing phone still. It's still a very powerful phone. So of course, one of the things I've been doing with this S7 is use the SDR dongle with SDR Touch and using this. With this, because I can, I've got a Chromecast on that TV, so I can actually display the screen from this phone to that TV here. And of course, with SDR Touch, I can display that there and listen into, VHF, UHF signals. So it's kind of a radio scanner. But I'm looking into, using this S7, do something else. Use it. It's a mini computer. I want to use it for something. I don't want this to, my iPhone, when I got my first S7, I was on an iPhone 5. And honestly, I suddenly didn't care for my iPhone 5. And every time I see it hanging around, it's like, yeah, okay, battery's dead because I don't charge it, and I don't actually, it's always like, I don't care. I don't care about my iPhone 5. And I'm sure I could sell it on eBay or whatever and get some cash for it, but yeah, I don't care. I keep it because, if I have to do a video about iOS or something, I can still do some stuff with that. But for some reason, my S7 is not the same thing. For some reason, my S7, I am sad to have my S7 not do anything. And I want to use it to do something. So, maybe convert my Android S7 phone, my Galaxy S7 phone, into some kind of radio-oriented phone and do radio stuff with it. And who knows? Maybe I should try to stream in 1080p with the S7, which it's totally capable of, and see how it goes. Maybe that could be, on the stand of the camera instead of the camera, and be my device, my streaming device. Who knows? It's just crazy. Yes, my laptop will be blowing up sometimes. It's just crazy. Yeah, but that i5 computer, Andy, does not work on Windows 7. It's a laptop that was designed to work on Windows 8 or after. So basically, it doesn't have any drivers for Windows 7. I can install Windows 7 on this laptop, and I don't want to. I want it to be on Windows 10. Honestly, you know what broke down my laptop? The Spectre and Meltdown fixes. For those that wonder, Intel has a problem, and the Spectre and Meltdown have been. I've got the fix on this machine to stay safe, but it dreadfully slows down the older machines. That's the biggest problem right now. So Ralph Bender, take care, my friend, from Germany. Always nice to have you on board. And really, really cool to have everybody here. Richard says, you have a station near the 70-meter banjo. Whoa. Once again, camera has moved. What? What station? Where? I've got some hams, but, I can't have honest thoughts on the Perseus SDR because I've never used it. I've seen good things about it. I've seen a lot of people use it and seem to be really happy. That's pretty much the only thing I can say here. So Keegan says 90 up to 90 Fahrenheit here at one point. Wow, that's hot. That's hot. Danny Shortwave Radio DX says that would make a very good streaming cam for sure. That's what I guess, and why not? Well, that at least when you got your stuff back, Brett. If you got your stuff back, it's still bad because you have to but at least you got your stuff back. Oh yeah, absolutely, Danny Shortwave. A backup camera for my DX expedition. And also, I was talking about using this as my when I go to Perry Island, my first expedition, I'll do a live show. And so I'll be using this for a live show. I received my bracket, because I have my tripods. I got 3 tripods here for cameras. I've got a Sony Handycam on one. I've got the Logitech C920 that's doing the stream right now. And I've received the mount where I could put my actually any phone, S7 or S9, on the tripod with the mount, so that I can use my phones as cameras and streaming. So I will be doing a live show from Perry Island using this. Another reason why, I can stream with this for several hours. Battery will last. At Perry Island there's no power, so I can't. My laptop will die after an hour. You guys have seen it anyways. When there was the solar eclipse, we ran out of power here, and I couldn't stream for more than an hour. After an hour, my battery was dead on my laptop. I mean, it's crazy. Aaron Mitchell, nice to have you here. Thank you. Thank you. It's really nice. What else do we have? Just Simon, today's discussion. Yes, you will fix your computer today. Just shortwave crossover to computer show. Oh man. Oh god. Danny Shortwave says, yes, live show from Perry Island. Absolutely, I will do one. And I will do it with my phone. My phone will be capable of doing it. So it's pretty cool. So, VK2 FBAJ says 7-second delay, stream delay into Sydney, Australia. That is actually not bad at all when you think about it. 7 seconds. 7 seconds. Calvin, yeah, the bitch cop. Oh man. Don't get me on that. When I start going crazy thinking about that bitch cop, I just get mad. A red signal. Oh, that is, if you're talking about this, it's a radio teletype signal. If that's the one you're talking about, Brad, there on the right side of the screen. It's a radio teletype signal. That's right there, Richard. Yeah, the bitch cop. Man, that bitch cop. I tell you, my patience was really low with the pitch cop. I can tell you that. Do I open another beer, guys? How about it? Another beer? You guys want me to continue a little more? I'm opening the beer only if you're saying yeah, continue. So we'll wait for that. I'm gonna look at the email, see if anybody else has checked in. That's not in the chat room. Okay, yeah, we've got more people checking in. So yes, cheers. Okay. I'll open the beer here. Here we go. Here it goes. Take care, Oxford Shortwave Log. It's nice to have you here. So here we go. Let's fill up the beer. And here we go. Nice, cool beer. Look at that, man. So beautiful. Beautiful. So beer number 3, and we're 2 hours and, man, time flies today. It's like I'm just having fun. 2 hours and 49 minutes into the stream now. So here we go. Okay, we got more. We got more here. Okay, my name is Visa. I need to do something here. Can I, yeah, okay. Vesa Nevalinen from Espoo, Finland. Thank you for your great shows. You have inspired me to listen to shortwave bands again. I was DX listener in the 70s and 80s, so it has been great to come back to old hobby. I too like winter more than summer. Is too hot, and there is not dark skies for astronomy. So, okay, you love astronomy. I love astronomy also as a hobby. As we have also hockey season from fall to spring. Yes, Team Switzerland finished our journey in hockey. Tournament too early. World Cup tournament too early. Yeah, well, you know. It's nice to see you here. Visa Nevalinen. Sorry if I don't pronounce it well. From Espoo, Finland. Wow, this is so cool. You know what? It's nice to get like a call to those that are not in chat. Welcome from Finland, man. So we've got Scandinavia covered. We've got Norway, Finland, and Sweden covered tonight. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And you know, being from a Nordic country, Canada, it's like I feel welcome. Thanks for checking in, man. It's really, really nice. We've got just here. Okay, so we've got Sinbina. Sorry if I don't pronounce it. Sinbina, something like that. Checking in. But says, okay, it says, so call me Sib. Okay, Sib. Nice to have you here. It says, been watching and listening in for the last 6 months. It's always nice to have a familiar voice on YouTube Live. Love your show. I have an old Panasonic receiver that was purchased by my dad in the early 80s. I still have that today and listen to the shortwave bands. I'm located in the vicinity of oops, I lost the okay. So okay, in the vicinity of Bhopal, India, and as you may know, we had a tragedy here. Tragedy. Wow, tragedy. Tragedy. I don't know why I got a problem pronouncing that. I'm not enough trying to not pronounce words. Tragedy. Here in the 80s, yeah, I remember the Bhopal tragedy. Tragedy. I remember that. That was horrible. I am left with some health problems due to that, because I was here when that happened. But I love listening to the radio and love your show. Thank you for being here and doing what you do. It is very nice, and it's always nice to have you on. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sid. Nice to have you here. And wow, so sad. I remember that Bhopal, India tragedy, and again, wow, it's a tragedy. Why can I pronounce that word? There are a couple of English words I just go crazy nuts trying to pronounce right. It's just crazy. That problem. But I remember that was so horrible, and it's sad that you have some health problems due to that. Great example of companies that just aren't taking care of what they have to and just making money, Wow, India, so that's nice. Okay, we have Bob Bartola. Hey Joe, been watching and listening for a few years. Keep up the great work. I had 2 cats, AM and FM. Both are gone now. Wow, 2 cats, AM and FM. I like that. So sorry they're gone now. That's a good idea, actually, the name. This is my cats, AM, FM. That's nice. So sorry to know that they're gone though. I have a Com Radio CR1A, draws 1 watt SDR that does not need an external computer, and an R390A in mint conditions. Draws 100 watts. Lol. I am a ham, not too active, but listening more. I design and build my own transmitters. Oh, that's cool. Hope to visit Montreal again. Was up there in 1972 and 1984. Great time. Have a great weekend. Bob. So, and he likes Spaten Optimator beer. Huh. I've never seen that beer. So thanks, Bob, for checking in. Wow, really nice. We have Stephen S. And he's located in the state of Nevada, USA. He says, "Hi there. I've been listening to Shortwave for a long time and been watching your shows for the last year or so. I had no idea when I stumbled upon your show that other people were as enthusiastic as you and about radio, and it is true, and I hear you say it all the time. It's a solitary hobby, and I do feel quite alone when I listen in, as nobody else wants to listen to the static." I feel for you. I totally understand. And I don't think anybody that's in the chat, anybody that's watching, totally understands that aspect also. It's really a lot of fun, and we have all these people, from for as far and as I remember when I started listening in I was 13 years old, and my brother would always bug me and say, "Oh, you're listening to your static." Yeah, I'm gonna listen to my static. And I remember telling him, "Oh man, I got New Caledonia in the Pacific Ocean today." And it was like, "Oh, so you got static from the Pacific Ocean?" It's like, yeah. What the hell, And it's sad because honestly, we are in our little world, and we feel like, "Oh, this is so cool." I remember waking up at 5 in the morning to listen to New Caledonia on the 40-meter band. Still remember it was on the 40-meter band. But, you get that, and you're, and you got somebody telling you, "Oh, yeah, listen to your static." And you're like, okay. Yeah, I'm listening to static. What the hell? Who cares? I'll return to my room and just, the hell with it. I'm just going to lower that radio teletype in the background. It does sound very shortwave-like. Having a little radio teletype in the background while I talk. It says that the radios that he's using is a Drake R8B receiver, and he's got a 150 feet long wire. It's a little noisy, but he still picks up a lot of stations with it. And he also is using a portable receiver, which is a Panasonic RFB 65, and he's still quite active, and he says that he enjoys the show. Thanks for all the information. One of the things that he's learned a lot is all the websites that he didn't know about that I talked about, giving details of different frequencies and times for transmission. Says, "Continue the great work that you're doing." And he says, the NPS, "Take a look at your PayPal. I sent you a little something." Well, thanks. Much appreciated, my friend. Wow, this is fun, actually. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll see if other people that have not, signed in, will sign in. Far too many gadgets. Signing in through email. That's interesting. Usually he's in the chat room, I believe. Says, "Hey Joe, I catch the last part of almost every show, but I don't usually join the chat. I started shortwave listening in 1977 when I was 14, progressing from a realistic patrolman radio to a Panasonic RF 2800. I had a Sangean ATS 803 in the 90s, then a Sony ICF 2010. Now I have those sets, plus an ICOM ICR 75 and an Ethon E1. I really miss the broadcasters. I'm not that interested in utilities, but nostalgia is still strong. Thanks for doing what you do." Yeah, I get it. I totally understand the feel. I talk about all the different things that we can listen in on shortwave bands, but it is true that some have a specific aspect of listening. I'm the guy that listens to everything, so it's kind of cool because I'm the guy that's open-minded about every types of signals. The problem is, it does happen that you will be on a specific type. Anybody that just wants to listen into the world and know what's happening in other countries, we do miss. And part of my listening was that I do miss the times where every country or there were like a lot of countries around the world were on shortwave, listening into their own broadcasts and everything. It was cool, there's that nostalgia thing. Absolutely. Thanks for checking in. Always nice to have you on board. And we have another email that just came in while I was actually reading that email. It was the last one. So I've got Dave. Dave that is checking in. He says that he's in the UK and that he's been enjoying my live shows from time to time. He's not listening in on the live shows very often, but when he can, he is, and tonight he was, and he's happy to check in and say hello. He says that he likes to listen to all types of signals. So you see, different kind of listeners actually. And that he's listening in on a old realistic DX160, and he's never bought any other radios, but he enjoys the old analog style. He enjoys the old listening, and it's just a lot of fun. He says he isn't really interested in anything modern like software-defined radios. He just likes it as it is on an old radio, and he just finds that the shows are great. He says, thanks for your videos. A lot of them have helped me understand why I couldn't hear different types of signals at different times of day. It helped me also understand that, an outdoor wire helps a lot. So thanks, man. It's nice to have you on board from the UK. So that's cool. That's cool to send out a little, why not write to me if you're watching the stream but you're not in the chat room. Just say hi and know where you are. Really nice. Take care, Mick. Really nice. Calvin says that really wound you up, Joe. Yes to the beer. So take care. Oxford Shortwave Log. Let us know that Texan S8800 is going. It's finally a little expensive, but a little expensive for what it is, but it looks nice, Keegan says, or root beer. I do like root beer. The A&W root beer is actually really good. Vianney Alcino says, more beer equal possibility, more show. Yes. Yeah, you guys wanted me to drink more because you know that I'll continue blabbing around with radio and just have listen in. Oh, God. Always nice to have you here. 3 times 9% equal drunk radio show. Yeah, 9%. They are 9%. So I'm getting there. 2 hours 48 minutes just warming up, says Mick. Johnny DXer, hey there from Philly suburbs, Pennsylvania. Nice to have you here. Pretty cool. I suppose that time signal here in Finland on 25,000. Oh, really? Wow, I didn't know. I remember seeing something about that. Digital Chap, it's a pleasure to see you live again. Short listening is not just a channel, it's a legacy in progress. Big love from India. Well, thank you, Digital Chap. It's nice to have you here. Wow. I was looking at my viewers today. I was wondering where I was exactly on the shortwave channel. So I'm at 12,500 subscribers on the Shortwave channel here, and about 3.5 million views. Not bad, not bad. You know, these are small channels, honestly, compared to the hugeness of some channels on YouTube. But at the same time, you know, I consider myself a very small YouTuber. But you know, there's a few guys that follow me that are YouTubers and that are far behind that, and tell me, you know what, you're a bigger YouTuber than you think, from the size of what you do and the things that you do. And yeah, but you know, it depends on who you compare yourself to. But then again, you know, when I see people that one of the YouTubers, you know, I won't mention his name because he's like really sad, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want you guys to start, you know, sending in some comments or anything. So there's a guy that had a YouTube channel about amateur radio, and he was around 500 subs when YouTube had the new rules that you got to have 1,000 subs to be monetized. And it hit him so hard, and he took it so bad that he was like, you know, I was starting to get monetized, I was starting to get, and he had, you know, because on YouTube, to be paid, you got to have passed a minimum, which is $100. When you pass the $100 mark, that money on the 21st, around the 21st of every month, gets sent to your bank account. But it's a $100 threshold. And he was happy because, like, he was reaching the $100 threshold like every 2 months. So every 2 months he had that little $100 going to his bank account. I was kind of happy, you know. And they hit him with the no, we need to have 1,000 views now, 1,000 subs now, and 4,000 hours of views a year minimum to be paid. And you know, from the day to the next, they just stopped, and it pissed him off so much, so much. And he said, you know what, the hell with YouTube. And I tried to convince him, you know, it's like, you're halfway, 500. You're not that far. 500 isn't that far from 1,000. And you've already reached 500, which is already, you know, it's already nice. But it kind of pissed him too much, and he just, you know, couldn't take it. And I was like, you know, I understand the new rules of YouTube, but, you know, they are helpful because, honestly, you guys don't know it, but in 2017, I had to issue about 100 takedown videos because people were stealing my videos and putting them on their own channels. About 100 last year in 2017. And the people that steal your videos are always the people that are, when you look at their viewership, they don't have a lot of views. They just go around and look at what looks good and take it, download it, and upload it to their own channel. And, you know, someone was telling me, how can they do that? Because YouTube sees it. No, but you know what? When you take the same video and upload it to another video exactly as is, yeah, YouTube sees there's a double. But when they download it, because it changed the quality and it changed the format, YouTube doesn't see anymore that it's the same thing. So, you know, what that new rule of 1,000 subs minimum changed for me. Nobody's stealing my videos anymore. Because anybody that has 1,000 subs or more doesn't steal other people's videos. They have their own videos. And so, you know, but the problem is it hurt people. You know, my nephew Gabriel had a channel where he was doing videos on how to pronounce and how to, like, you know, learning Spanish word by word. And he actually was having, like, you know, his $100 threshold every 3 or 4 months. And I remember he was like always telling me, "Hey man, I got my $100 this month." He was like, was happy, you know. And he looks at his, of course, he looks at his uncle that's, basically pretty much making a living off of it. So it's like, I'm his role model, like, wow, and you're the big guy. You're the big guy that maybe one day could be like you, And it's sad because that threshold changed his view also. He also said, I ain't getting any money anymore because of these rules. And it is sad, I think it's sad that these rules sometimes hit honest people, unfortunately. It's just sad, Yeah, great name, FM and AM. Great name for Oh, really? Johnny DXer. His dog is CW. Oh, I like that. Robert Pokorny says, opinion of the SDR Play RSP2. Is that the best one they make? It is very, very nice, honestly. And I think you really enjoy it. I can tell you that. Hey, no problem, B. I'm here for that, actually. People ask questions. Okay. Brett Wayne says, I love the hiss of a good radio. Hey, Fastload. Nice to have you here. Pretty cool. You can buy it online. They actually have a store to buy the RSP2 and the USA. So you can go directly there. They have authorized stores, absolutely, and you can buy online directly from there. Pretty cool. Hey, Fabrice Simonet. Oh yeah, you're in Japan. Take care, my friend. Oh, it's nice to have you here. It's nice to say a little hello here. Pretty cool. So Oh man. Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh no, there's beers that have higher percentage than that. I went to I like different types of beers, and a friend of mine last year brought me to a beer fest, a small beer fest, not a big beer fest that everybody talks about around town. It's a small beer fest, and he had, not everybody could go there, and that guy said, "Hey Joe, you like beer? I want to have someone with me. I don't want to go there alone. I got 2 tickets. You want to come with me? We're gonna go to that little beer fest." And I went there. They had beers with like 15% alcohol there. It was nuts. But what was really amazing is they even had beers with like 10 or 11% that tasted so sweet that you would never guess that there was that amount of alcohol in it. I remember one that had tasted like peaches, and it didn't have any, it was not a flavored beer like with peaches or anything. It's the way that they make it. And I can tell you one thing. I looked at the bottle and it's like 13.5%. Wow. It doesn't taste like 13.5. It tastes really good. And I was thinking, wow, I would get hammered if you would not tell me that's 13.5%. It's just crazy. Just crazy. So, man. The DAB digital radio is using the same, most of the times they're using the same frequency ranges, or close to. It's just that it's a digital signal. So, Mick, there are clips of my own things in other people's vids, but the problem is there's also something called fair use that I have no control over. But at the same time, I can't complain about fair use because I do use things. When I do my tech news, I use pictures. I use pictures that sometimes might have copyrights. But the thing is, because it's a news bulletin, it falls under fair use. If fair use did not exist, for example, you would not see For example, they're talking about a royal wedding. You would not see their pictures in the news bulletin because there would be a copyright, and they would complain that, well, you can't use my picture without paying for it, and so on. So, same thing for videos. The thing is, when you take part of another person's clip and it's within a minute, and then you comment on it, it becomes fair use. So, for example, an idiot from Finland has done that with my videos, clips, to also complain about me and say I'm an idiot, but I can't do anything about it because that's fair use. It's fair use. So, if I use one of you guys have videos online, I can use 30 seconds of one of your videos, and if I comment on it after it, well, you guys can come back at me. It's fair use. It has good and bad. Like everything in life, fair use can be used for the good and for the bad of things. So I'm happy for fair use. There are a lot of things I could not do if I did not have fair use protection. So on my tech channel, for example, I would say on the tech channel is where it's the most obvious. My tech channel, fair use has enabled me to do a lot of things that I can talk about, not worry about anyone coming back at me, because I'm in the fair use world. And I don't use fair use. That guy in Finland uses fair use to bash on others because he, for some reason, thinks that other people are cheating or something. I don't use the fair use opportunity to bash on anybody. I don't need that. I don't need to hammer down somebody else. I've never, bashed anybody else for popularity reasons. I think that's really low grade. Complaining about somebody else to get popular is very low grade, honestly. That's not what I do, and that's not what I plan to do ever. I'm not there. I don't need that. I'm popular here for a reason, and it's not being negative about others. I'm popular here because I have been doing things right, and I've been a general great guy. I mean, I like talking about other channels. I'm not alone here. There are tons of other shortwave and amateur radio channels that are great. We all each have our little place, and there's place for everyone. So the hell with idiots. That's the thing. That's the thing. Fair use can be used for good, for bad, Oh, man. Hey, Mr. Hossam. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. Man. Danny Shortwave says, I thought about it for a sec, but it is more for fun doing videos. I just reached 1K, however, for the viewing hours are not to par. But I know I will get there eventually, besides I got in some donations. But still, Danny, what I always say is, if you can get a couple of bucks, when you reach the level, don't, ask for the, make everything for the for monetization. Why put away the possibility of making money? And don't forget one thing, Danny. If you're not making the cash, Google and YouTube is making 100% of it. So take what is yours and what is due from the big gun companies like Google that make billions of dollars a year. Okay? I'm not ashamed at all of taking my fair share. It's not even a fair share, honestly. If I want to really rant, Google is taking a F amount of YouTubers. YouTubers should make a lot more money than that. But for the fairness of YouTube is the only platform that offers this, what I will mostly say is don't let that money go to billion-dollar companies. Take your share, even if it's just $100 every few months. Take what you deserve. Don't let it go to these big gun companies. That's it. Yes, I did bash and rant against YouTube and Google in a video. That's called fair use. And blessing us have you here. Johnny DXing says, my cat's name is Paul. I like that. Mine is Paul. P-A-U-L. Like Paul McCartney. But I do like Paw. It is a nice name for a cat. It is a nice name for a cat. But I understand it's fun. The highest content for a beer, I don't know, but the highest content for a beer I've seen is 15%, personally. 15%. And it was a beer. It was not anything else. It was really a beer. I can tell you that. NDK2 says beer really shouldn't have more than 6%. I'll allow to 9%, but it might as well be malt liquor if it gets any higher than that. But you know what, MDK2? When I went to that beer place with my friend, I was totally surprised at what even high percentage beer can taste like. Just crazy. Danny Shortwave says, I've seen a bunch of my videos on some fake YouTube sites. I just Googled Danny Shortwave and I see them under the video in the search. The only thing you got to be careful with, Danny, is I have videos that show up on other channels, but what happens is the link shows up. That means that they keep the full. When you watch it, for example, it gives me the monetization. There's an ad. They're just sharing the link, and that happens. There's a lot of there's a one radio channel that I've seen that he doesn't make any videos. He takes the videos from other people and just aggregate all of that into one channel. That doesn't hurt because honestly, it just makes it more popular. And it just brings more views to your channel. It doesn't hurt you. And it's not stealing your videos, it's just creating a hub of videos and you're a part of it. It's more of something like that. Rob Webster, hey, nice to have you on board. Ernie Turner says, did a YouTube search of Paul the Cat, thinking maybe Gilles had a cat channel. I was amazed how many videos were about thinking Paul would be a rare cat name. No, there's a lot of Paul the Cats. But if you do a Google, you know what? I had a lot of fun the other day. I went to Google image search. I started typing my name. So I typed my name, my full name, Gilles Letourneau. I type Paul the Cat. And within that, when you look at all the things, there's tons of things showing up. And one of the things that showed up is my cat did show up in the image search. And it does say it comes from a YouTube video. And of course my face did show up a couple of times also. I like that, Johnny DXing. Sir Paul McCartney. It's Paul McCartney. Oh man. I like the Beatles also. I'm not a huge fan, but I love the Beatles. It's really, really nice. But there's a lot of stuff happening, I can tell you that. MDK2 says, I've had some high-octane Belgian beers before. There used to be a great place called Cheeky Monk, the Cheeky Monk, here in Denver, that had tons of that. Sadly out of business now. I want to go to a place, and maybe Fastload, if he's still watching, would be interested. There's a new bar, Fastload, that's open in the west end of the town. They have on tap something like 75 beers. I've never seen such craziness. And I was thinking one day to go there, bring loads of cash, and look at the 75 different beers they have on tap and say, okay, party time. We're going to start tasting these things and see what is interesting in all of these beers right here. Of course, I'm not going to take 75 beers in one evening because I'll probably be passed out at some point. But that place is amazing me. Totally. Totally. And they have imported stuff. They have really crazy stuff, apparently. And it's somebody that is following me that said, look, you got to go to that place. And it's on the West End. I don't remember the name. West End of town. Apparently they have crazy choice of beer on tap. Amazing. So I'll be going there someday for sure. Right? But I need a friend. I don't want to go there alone. I don't like going to a bar alone. I want to go there with, a beer buffet. I love that. Danny Shortwave says a beer buffet. I'm going to the beer buffet tonight. Not a huge fan. What's that? What's that image? Oh God. You know what, guys? The funniest thing is I searched all over the web for a fan for my fridge, the motor fan for my fridge, and as I was doing my tech news, I go into one of the tech news channel, neowin.net, and the first thing I see is the 4 news about tech, and the 5th one is, oh, do you need a motor fan for your fridge? And it's like, I see the picture of my fan, the one that is my fridge. I'm like, okay, yeah, they're not tracking us on the internet, of course. Totally nuts. Okay, what's on the bands right now? Let's check it out a little bit. Hey, I'm here, so let's Belgian Trappist beers have a lot of alcohol. Drink one and you'll have a religion. I like that. What's that here? Oh. EAM 4724, upper sideband.
Disregard this transmission. This is Tree Frog out.
Tree Frog just disregard this transmission. So why is it? It's not important anymore? Tree Frog said disregard this transmission. Now, how serious is that from the Army? Tree Frog says disregard this transmission. Yeah, okay. Anyways, that was a U.S. Air Force emergency action message. Oh.
This is Tree Frog.
Tree Frog.
Break.
Tree Frog. That is a serious name.
Zulu. November. 6. 3. Tango. Stand by. Yankee. Zulu. November. 6. 3. Tango. Stand by. Yankee. Zulu. November. 6. 3. Tango. Stand by. Message follows. Yankee. Zulu. November. 6. 3. Tango. November. Bravo. November. Oscar. Hotel. Lima. Juliet. 2. Golf. 4. Mike. India. Mike. Echo. Oscar. Delta.
Yep, Nick, we're all doomed. And
Delta.
it was from Tree Frog.
Tango.
It's the end of the world, Tree Frog. Okay, Bobby. 4724.
26. X-ray.
8992. Very weak here. 11175.
Oscar. 5-8. Yankee.
13200.
Zulu. November. 6. 3. Tango. November. Bravo. November. Oscar.
Always remember
Hotel.
Tree Frog
Lima.
as
Lima.
announced the end of the world.
Juliet. 2. Golf. 4. Mike. India. Mike. Echo. Oscar. Delta. Mike.
Bobby Burgess 8992 strong.
X-ray.
David in Barcelona says 4724 is very strong.
Yes. Oscar. This is Tree Frog House.
Tree Frog. So, hey you guys, how do you feel about someone named Tree Frog announcing the end of the world? Oh, God. So you guys enjoying the show? Weird slow phonetic message on 9760. On 9760? There is something really very weak, but I can't make it out here on 9760. It's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. And the K2 says still have lighting here, but it was tuned to 6739 USB via Wiki SDR in Virginia. Huh. So still have lightning. No radio for you, MDK2. Tell you that. What else do we have here? What's that on 95? That's Radio Marti. 9565. What else do we have? Just check it out here. Let's just check it out here. 6,000. That's on the 49 meter band. We've got WWCR 6115.
True Hosea here. This is the Most High God from the land of Egypt.
China Radio International Spanish on 6175. Oh, really? Okay, so Johnny Viking says 9760 AM radio. Raptor says 9760 is Radio Romania in Spanish. Ah, okay. That's very weak here. Johnny the Extra was stronger earlier, but just got weaker phonetics here in English. Rich in Atlanta says 9760 upper sideman is a Spanish conversation of some sort. Interesting. Huh. 12,005 out of 5 says Keegan. That's, I believe, Radio Havana, Cuba. And here it is. Yep. That's pretty good. What's here? What's here? That's a 11840. Also Cuba. 1160 is Cuba. 11700. I believe that's Radio Romania. In Romanian probably or something. No, that's in Spanish, sorry. Radio Romania in Spanish, I would guess. 11700. Huh. Yeah, it is Cuba. Rich. Bobby's getting Mexico on 6185. Really? Let me just check it out. I've got absolutely nothing. I do get it, but when I get Mexico, it's much later in the evening. Much later in the evening, usually. But I did get it a few times. Brett Wayne says 9760 S9 in Salamanca, New York. Johnny Yaxter said just switched to 9760 to USB, and I'm now getting weak Spanish. So that's Radio Romania. Yeah, 11700. That's what I taught. Yeah, Spanish, Radio Romania. Interesting. So hey guys, hope you enjoyed the show. But I'm just gonna show this for a few seconds for those that want to donate. But 3 hours and 35 minutes almost. You guys enjoyed the show today? We're gonna be back tomorrow, so why not come back tomorrow? And we'll try to have another show at least as long tomorrow. So Vote Viking is 9760 S9 plus 20 in Portugal. Nice to have you here, by the way, from Portugal. 11950 over modulation. Let's check it out. 11950. So if you guys want to donate, PayPal.me/shortwave, Patreon.com/radio and computers. Let's just check 11950. Do I have something there?
Esa misma noche, los cubanos todos declararon que nosotros teníamos armas. Y cuando logré ver por la madrugada al general Maceo y le comuniqué mi propósito de escapar por la vía de Nicaragua, me dijo que de ninguna manera lo hiciera, que Zambrana había estado allí y aconsejado que declararan todos que no tenían armas, porque no había la menor prueba. El único revólver que habían visto era el del general Maceo, y él le enseñó a la policía que no estaba disparado.
Urania Vanny, Cuba. Rich says 11253. Royal Air Force Vomit from the UK. It's there, but it's weak. Let's try 5450. Well, 5450 is starting to come in here. You know what, Mick? If you're here tomorrow, I'll do it. But I have to set it up, because right now I'll be tuning with the telescopic antenna. And because of the noise here, we won't hear anything. What I'll do tomorrow is I'll set this up with my outdoor antenna, and we'll tune through that. It'll be much better. So how about that as a deal, Mick? You'll be here tomorrow. We're going to tune that with the outdoor antenna, okay? And I promise it's going to happen. Cool. So I'll be here tomorrow, and we'll do that. So thanks everybody for being here. Hope you enjoyed the show today. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. 3 hours, 37 minutes. Not bad for a show. What about it, you know? And yes, I am signing off, Belby. But, you know, I got a few frequencies and stuff. So I wanted to do, check them out. So tomorrow I'll plug this in the antenna and we will tune it. Okay? I promise. So thanks everybody. Thanks for those that donated. Thanks for being great fans. Thanks for being just amazing. But I've never thought of that, Rich. Maybe, yeah, that could be an interesting idea. The DSP unit on my SDR. Why not? Take care, everybody. Love you all. Stay safe. And always love doing these live shows. Take care, my friends. Tomorrow, 2000 hours UTC. And love you all. Great to see everybody here. You guys are great. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for being great fans. Stay safe. Love you. Okay? Take care, my friends. Bye.